ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. U.S. Central Command has fired retaliatory strikes against Iran, striking missile storage and coastal radar locations in that country. It comes in response to Iran strikes yesterday on ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which President Trump says marks a violation of the ceasefire. Meanwhile, Israel and Lebanon have signed on to a new peace agreement, though Hezbollah's cooperation remains a question mark. U.S. aid arriving in Venezuela today after those two huge earthquakes this week.
According to the U.S. Embassy in Venezuela, the priority right now includes establishing a base for operations. They'll work with the local authorities to figure out where the needs are. There are close to 80 experts per team that have been deployed there. These teams are made up of firefighters, doctors, structural engineers, and about a dozen trained canines.
ABC's Faith Abube. The death toll in Venezuela now climbing to 920. Some 50,000 people are unaccounted for. This is ABC News. Former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton is facing up to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to illegally retaining national security information. After today's hearing, Kelly Hayes, U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, said no one's above the law.
The rules governing classified and national defense information apply equally to everyone, regardless of position and regardless of how long you have served with the United States government.
Bolton's sentencing is scheduled for the end of October. Former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg now says Child Protective Services were called to his house earlier this week over unsubstantiated allegations. The rumored 2028 presidential hopeful wrote he feels rage and sadness over how someone involved his children in something like this and implied it may have been rooted in homophobia. And there are more than 36 wildfires burning across the western half of the country. In Arizona, one of the blazes was sparked by a car explosion. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Tonight's World Cup match in Seattle is like none before. A preview coming up after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. We are busy today between Olympia and Everett. We've got heavy volumes. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour, 25 minutes. We're jam-packed from State Route 16 down to about 56, where we recently cleared a stall. And then 17 miles of scattered backups between JBLM and Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma, an hour, 10 minutes. North 5 at Marvin Road, we have a disabled semi blocking 2 right lanes. That leaves just that one lane open. You're bumper to Pacific Avenue. That's a 5-mile backup. Over to Yelm, eastbound 510, right in front of Southworth Elementary. A collision blocks that eastbound lane. We're alternating traffic at the scene. Westbound 16, headed out toward Gig Harbor. We're bumper to bumper from 36 up to Burnham Drive, where a collision blocks your right lane. Here in Seattle, South 5, heavy from Northgate to I-90, 40 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. And up in Everett to Marysville is at 25 minutes. You're bumper to bumper from Highway 2 up to 528, where a van slid off the freeway in the left ditch, still partially sticking out in that left lane. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. World Cup Match Day 4 here in Seattle. It is making history beyond soccer. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports for the first time, a host nation allowing a country it's at war with to play a match on its soil.
A day after their fresh drone attack on a vessel in the Strait of Hormuz, Iran will take on Egypt at Seattle Stadium. Thousands of Iranian Americans are expected to attend and protest, calling for the removal of the current regime. People forced to flee Iran, like Leila Farang.
The people of Iran, they need freedom and they need help from outside. They're not armed. They have no voice.
The Iranian government has also requested FIFA prevent all LGBTQ celebrations during the game. FIFA said no as Seattle's Pride weekend kicks off. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Mayor of Linwood is vowing to do more after a recent shooting put a teenager in intensive care.
Linwood Mayor George Hurst says on June 12th, at least 30 shots were fired at a shopping plaza full of restaurants, a pet store, and a Starbucks, and a 17-year-old boy was wounded.
You know, a lot of times we'll say that this type of thing is unacceptable, and it is.
But he says words are just words, and that he needs to make sure Linwood PD has the staff and resources it needs to quickly react to things like this. He says since 2022, 5 teenagers have been shot to death in Linwood. In the June 12th case, 2 people were arrested, and the boy survived. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Washington's decision to merge its carbon market with California and Quebec is drawing pushback from a rural lawmaker. State Republican Dan Griffey is a Republican from Mason County. He tells Seattle Red's Jason Rantz.
The rural community where I live, the 35th District, is paying for King County's experiment once again, and we're getting tired of it.
Governor Ferguson signed that agreement yesterday, saying a bigger market means more stability and lower costs. Griffey says the program has been, in his words, a train wreck since the beginning. State budget officials, meantime, are bracing for a tough road ahead, according to the forecast released today. Projected revenue is down by nearly $1 billion since February. This is Economic and Revenue Forecast Council Executive Director Dave Reich.
Employment growth has been weak, more so I would say in Washington State than nationally. The last 3 months nationally we've actually had decent employment growth, but here in Washington State we continue to see weak growth in employment.
On the flip side, housing permits are up. Capital gains tax collections also came in higher than expected. Next forecast arrives in September. To your forecast now, cloudy skies for this afternoon and some pockets of light rain as well. Highs in the mid-60s. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
We hope this brings happiness to you and your family.
Thank you, Andrew. I knew you'd grab that part. That is right. It's the John Curley Show. Okay, next hour, let's make sure a little Zach Brown in there because it gets me in a good mood on a Friday because Joe's been a little bit of a pissant.
Me?
Yeah, as they used to say on the Waltons, which I always thought was interesting that they got away with that on the Waltons. To me, even as a kid, I was like, isn't that a bad word? Mama, John Boy's being a pissant again. There he is. All right, there we go. Come on, Joe! I ain't worried about Mrs. B and her house of cats. Get it? Your TV's lying to the world ain't on fire, and the only thing's burning gets me high. I ain't worried about it. Oh, Big J coming my way this weekend. Don't have to work. Hit it! Comes. All that matters is love, love, love. Diving in the nose.
Oh, you're whistling now? You're whistling now?
I did the whistle part. I'm afraid of that.
By the way, a pissant is a type of ant, so maybe they just...
Until they got around it. Yeah. Hey, wow. So much information in the first couple of minutes of the show. Aaron, how do you keep track of this, huh?
I don't listen.
Wow.
I kid.
Ouch. You cut it out, kid. But 888-973-5476. Hey, Kev, I know you're out there. Hope you're well. I'll check in with you after the show. Joe did a call yesterday. Who'd you talk to? Because could we confirm that this gal's coming on?
Yes, Hannah Krieg.
Hannah Krieg. Okay. And you follow Hannah Krieg.
I do.
What I recommend people do, because then you'll see when she comes on our show. How'd you pitch coming on to the show? Is it like coming in the Lion's Den?
No.
Okay.
I told her it wouldn't be a hostile environment, that I thought you two would like each other. You're both intelligent and, sparky and have good personalities. And
is it a date or is it an interview?
We'll see. See how it goes.
I'm already married, but thank you. Okay, so that's good to have her on because she sort of takes what position most of the stuff if you follow her on social media.
It's pretty hard left.
Yeah. Okay. When you asked her, she said she's a libertarian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I said, "Wait, you're not a socialist?" She said, "No, I never read Marx. I don't believe that kind of stuff. So I think you might have more in common than you think."
Good. All right. Well, I look forward to those conversations, which leads me. Thank you, Joe, for that. Let's see. You get there's two people. Imagine someone like let's get Shama Sawan screaming and yelling. Right.
We need a powerful socialist movement to end all capitalist oppression and exploitation.
Okay. Let's see. She's got one more in her. Let's see.
How about this one?
Taxing the rich is hugely popular. So in fact, we could have free healthcare for all funded by taxing the rich.
Okay, so you have one person yelling, go get the rich people. We could have this great utopia. All we got to do is just go get these people that have a whole bunch of money. Now, how about a street preacher? What do they have in common?
Don't hide your sins. Don't try to conceal your sins because you can't hide your sin from God. God sees all. It's time to wake up, Seattle.
The king will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of these least brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.
Think about it for a moment. So both of these people, right? So you get Shama Sawan screaming about, if we got it from these people, just took some of the money from those people, everybody would be better. And then you have the preacher on the other side saying, look, let's help one another. Let's just do this and vanquish the sins and life would be great. They are both really coming from the same position, right? That care for one another, do great things for everyone, and everyone will be better off. They're right in this, but they seem counter to one another. First of all, because often the preacher starts out with repent, repent, repent. Therefore, you are guilty of something, right? That's why white people recoil at reparations. It's like I live in the suburbs. I don't own slaves. I don't. So that's don't tell somebody to repent from something. Gets them angry right away, and that's why so many capitalists or people that have money, recoil at someone like Shama Sawan saying you're not paying your fair share. The person's like, what are you kidding me? I pay my fair share every April, right? So immediately when they start off accusing, you're not going to have open ears. But once you get past that, you really have them both saying the same thing, which is we can have great things if we stop being selfish and we stop thinking only of ourselves. Everything would be fine. Now, it goes to Thomas Sowell's theory of constrained and unconstrained. And it's basically this, that Sowell says human nature is basically constrained. We are selfish. We care only of ourselves and our kids, and that's about it. We take care of ourselves first, and that's just baked right in. You can't change that. The unconstrained would be someone like Shama Sawan or a socialist / Marxist, which is just a big gulp size of socialism. They say, no, man is unconstrained, that man is basically good, that we all can be great, almost saints, angels on earth. It's part of who we are. The problem is that the systems, whatever that is, ruined us. That we were pure and great, but then the system screwed us all up, and we need to change the systems to free us in order to be better. Now, this is where the divergence happens. The street preacher says, God could have made you perfect, but he gave you free choice, right? And in that free choice, you have the choice to follow him. Give up all your riches and take care of the poor and feed and clothe the hungry, and you'll be following God into his kingdom, right? That you can follow. You have the choice to follow. But someone like Sawant and some of these others say, no, that it's there. What we're going to do is we're going to create a system that allows the best of you to come out. And this is what Katie Wilson believes. If you've read some of her father's work, he is an evolutionary biologist. It's basically that he believes if you talk to a socialist, they actually believe, and to some extent, they have the moral high ground because they think more of you. They think you are more capable of doing wonderful things than perhaps you can even imagine yourself doing. Which, again, goes back to the preacher. The preacher also believes you can be saved. The socialist believes you can be saved. But here's the rub. It is voluntary with the preacher. They ask of you, come, follow. Come along this way. The socialist, on the other hand, says, you must, you will, if not, you go to jail or we kill you. That, and for your own good, come along. And for those people that choose not to come along, well, there's going to be some problems for them, which we don't need to talk about right now because we'll just assume everyone will see the good and follow us. But you think about it, when you go down there, especially, during the Seahawks game or during the World Cup, the preachers are out there yelling and screaming about This is the way. Come follow me. Come follow me. You can be free of all the horrible things. What is the thing about the rich man? Chance of the rich man getting into heaven is like through the eye of a camel through the eye of a needle.
The eye of a needle.
Right. You can't be focused on those rich things and the earthly material things. You'll be bound by those. But if you give it up, so the difference between the two, one is choice and faith that there is something, and the other is you're being compelled, you're being forced, you're not given a choice. They just assume the best is there once we set up a system that'll free the little angel that is in you. I just happen to believe that human nature is what it is. Now, here's where it gets even a little bit more interesting, if you're still with me. The Marxist and Karl Marx believed the problem is that it was taught in the family that so imagine this baby comes into the world and it is pure, untouched by any system, that it's good and it can be good and can care for everyone else and will care about itself and will care about everybody else. But what happens is once it gets into the family structure, well, then they kind of start messing it up. And they start making the kid selfish, and they start making the kid tribal, and it takes away the possibility of that kid being a really caring, wonderful, part of the commune. So Marx believed, and Marxists today still believe, that the nuclear family is the problem. But that's a whole other issue. But if you think about it, and next time you see those preachers, listen to them, but then come to it from a position of somebody like, Shama Sawant.
We need a powerful socialist movement to end all capitalist oppression and exploitation.
Because here's the thing we see about capitalism, and here's the really weird thing about capitalism. Capitalism says, yeah, you're horrible, you're selfish, all you care about is yourself. Good. Just like a bee. A bee doesn't give a rat's ass about a flower. It doesn't care about a flower, but it cares about the nectar in the flower. So it flies from bee to bee, and what it ends up doing is helping the flowers. It doesn't set out with, I'm going to go help a flower. It just happens to do that. The same thing with sharks. Sharks are going along eating, and then there's these little fish that swim next to the sharks that benefit from the shark always having a big appetite. Same thing with capitalism. I don't care about you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. I don't know anything. I just know I eventually want to buy a Ferrari. So I'm going to come up with some device or something, and you're going to like it, and you're going to buy it, and I don't even know who you are. Now it's even worse because there's no money exchanged. It's some independent person on some internet thing providing some sort of service, and you buy it, you're happy, and what did I do? I satisfied my selfish need for a Ferrari, and you got some Dinkalink thing or whatever you wanted to buy so you're happy, I'm happy, everybody's happy. So capitalism says, yeah, you're selfish, and your selfishness will motivate you to provide something into the marketplace that will provide some value to somebody in the marketplace. You'll get what you want, they get what they want, and you don't have to even be friends. It has nothing to do with anybody's personality. It's just simply a way of twisting around and using the mechanism of your own selfishness to benefit somebody else. Like, do you think Jeff Bezos cares at all about any of us? Probably not. But he wants to make sure whatever the product is. It's the same thing. I'm always amazed, like the chef at a restaurant, right? He hardly ever comes out there and sees anybody, right? He doesn't know. And let's assume he's a good chef and he cares about the work that he does or she does, right? And she's working really hard to make sure the ingredients are right, the taste is right, and everything's right. Why? Because they want you to enjoy your meal so that you tell people that it's good, so then you come back again and you order the same thing again so that person continues to have a job. If they didn't care, stuff falls on the floor, they don't care, or the sauce is bad, they don't care. It doesn't mean anything to them. They don't have to provide a product for you. They're not doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves. It is not by the benevolence of the baker, the butcher, or the brewer that you have your feast. It is by their own self-interest that you dine tonight. You ever heard that one? Take it to the bank. Wow. Right? There you go. So I saw those two. I saw the preacher and Shama Sawant and others, and I thought that's really interesting that they're really very close to each other, but they just have a different view of where mankind is. Questions, comments, concerns?
Do you think that...
Hold on, let me...
Hey, where'd you get that?
I bought it yesterday at the store.
Oh, good.
I left the top open.
Yeah,
No quiet, Deanie. Go ahead, Joe.
Do you think if you were a billionaire, legitimately, over $1 billion, that you would be philanthropic with your...
I'm philanthropic now to a bad. I am bad.
And you're not good at taking credit for it.
Well, I don't
which
care.
is good. I like
well,
that.
Who's going to take credit for it? But I mean, I'm an emotional wreck. I don't know what's wrong with me. I got to get back to a longevity medical clinic. What is it? So Nick said to me, Nick said it was around tax time, and I was complaining. I work so hard. Money through Friday and fly. And she said, and then Sally McRae from Financial Advisors, who's very, very serious. She said, you keep saying you want to retire. And I said, yeah. And she said, well, you gave away $52,000 last year. I said, they're all good causes. And she goes, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're all wonderful causes. But if you'd like to retire, you realize if you had taken that money and put that in the stock market, you know how much money you would have now. And she starts doing the thing on the calculator. I said, don't. I know. But I go to those things and they're trying to, I don't know, spay and neuter something. I'm like, here's $3,000. And like they're trying to like some homeless situation. Like here's $5,000 or something. Here's $2,000 or whatever you're going to pay me for the auction. Just take it back, right?
You're an easy mark.
I am, because I'm like, I look at myself. I'm like, I'm so unbelievably, but I'm up here doing this, having fun. Hey, here's take the money, right? Just give it, because I figured they could use it better than I could.
And yet you can't give Sully a couple $1,000.
Yeah. That's the print. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Oh. First of all, he completely lucked out on that thing. The road was blocked. I need to show me some evidence that he went down there and he called the person and had the thing open. It was just pure serendipity. That's all it was.
How is it different from you throwing money to all these other people, though?
That's not serendipity. I'm there. I see the problem when I give them the money.
It was serendipitous that you saw the problem in the first place, Joe.
It's serendipitous? No. I was there and I made the choice. It would be all of a sudden, there's action on my part. Sully's just sitting there with his big beard, eating cookies or something.
If you hadn't dangled the money in front of him, he wouldn't have gone out there.
He didn't do anything. It was pure luck. Absolute luck. It just happened to work out for him. The next day, here's what happened, folks, real quick. I said to Sully, because they blocked off this lane on 5 going underneath the convention center. And the reason they blocked it off was because they wanted to get people used to the delay, even though it was going to be like a year and a half in advance. Yeah, because we need a year and a half to adjust to getting in the other lane. I said, Sully, that is the stupidest thing. He goes, I know. I said, I'll give you $5,000 to get the lane open up. Well, it just happens because of my voice on this radio. They happen to hear it. Yes, because then the next day, boom, the things are gone. And Sully's like, I told you, pay me. I said, you didn't do anything.
He went down there.
He did not go down there.
I thought he went down there.
He didn't go down there.
And he opened up the lane.
I bet one of his pals at WashDOT got a little email.
No, he did
something.
not. He did.
He reached out. He at least reached out to somebody at WashDOT
and said, "Hey, I don't think we need a year and a half to figure out how to get in the other lane."
No, he said, "I made a $5,000 bet on the air."
Yeah. Oh, so you know what? It's more waste, fraud, to Bruce and Grafton's head bet. That's what's going on there. We got some cheating right here in River City. Well, there's the bigger story for you. All right,
take that to the bank.
Yeah, dude.
And now you know
the rest
of the story.
Here comes Nathan. Checking traffic, Nathan.
KIRO Newsradio App has the busy update. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour 15. We're jam-packed at State Route 16 to about 38. Just a brief backup here. But then 17 miles of scattered backups from JBLM into Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma has improved to 55 minutes. North 5 at Marvin Road, we still have a disabled semi blocking 2 right lanes. That leaves 1 lane open, and you're in a 5-mile-plus bumper-to-bumper backup. Over to Yelm, eastbound 510, right in front of Southworth Elementary. A collision blocks that eastbound lane, and we're alternating at the scene. In Gig Harbor, we cleared our collision westbound 16 at Burnham Drive, but you're backed up to 24th, up to the scene still. And then eastbound 16 has about a 2-mile backup approaching the area. Southbound 167, barely moving from State Route 18 into Sumner. Everett to Marysville, 25 minutes. It's bumper to bumper from the Boeing Freeway to 528, where we have a disabled vehicle partially blocking that left lane. Once a tow arrives on on scene, though. You can bank on this lane becoming fully blocked. And then northbound 529, you're jammed up between Everett and Marysville. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
You know how some parts of the house don't work? Let me explain. There's that closet that you've got that when you open it up, everything falls out. Or you try to find something, you can't because it's not working. There's too much stuff in there. And how about the garage? I know some people that can't park their car in the garage because there's everything else parked in the garage. You see what I'm saying? There might be some other parts of the house where it's just packed and there's no place to store anything. So maybe you've even gone to renting one of those storage units. Well, that adds up every single month. You can't even remember what's in there. So a better investment to get parts of those house working would be Closets by Design. The consultant comes to your house. They look at the problem. They know that each one of these problems that need to be solved have to be customized. But you don't get a big customized price. You're going to get 40% off plus an additional 15% off in 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit when paid in full. I really became a believer in Closets by Design when they came out to the barn in Cle Elum. You should see the work that they did. My goodness. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Jason Rance here. If your water heater is getting older, leaking, or running out of hot water, CM Heating has an affordable solution. Get a new gas or electric water heater installed starting at just $44.99 a month. With CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program, you'll get lifetime repairs and maintenance at no extra charge. Parts and labor covered for life. Plus, same-day installation is available in many cases. Schedule your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about soccer. Serious passion, inhuman stamina, and yet exaggerated injuries. Soccer is one of the few sports where overtime is a little subjective. One thing we know is that many fans enjoy game day with craft brews. Be sure to keep a clean sheet. It's not worth trading in those bicycle kicks for riding your bicycle to work. When being pulled over for DUI, there are rarely yellow cards, only red. So play it safe and don't go off sides. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free private consultation. If you're stopped for DUI midfield from home and there are no free kicks, make it your goal to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY. Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No, I
Medical
don't want to
Clinic?
do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Missile strikes in Iran. The United States says it retaliated today after an Iranian strike on a commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Karen Travers reports.
U.S. Central Command said Friday it launched a, quote, powerful response to the attack by Iran on Thursday on a commercial ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz. The military says U.S. aircraft hit Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites. Iran on Thursday hit a Singapore-flagged cargo ship with a one-way attack drone. An hour before the announcement by CENTCOM, President Trump indicated to reporters in the Oval Office there would be a U.S. response. When asked if Iran would face any consequences, the president said, quote, "You'll find out."
I don't like the fact that they took a shot yesterday.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Now, these strikes come just hours before Iran's national football team plays a World Cup match here in Seattle against Egypt as the city kicks off Pride weekend. Tonight's game is being called the Pride Match by local organizers. More from KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
In a statement to The Athletic, the Iran Football Federation said it's requested that FIFA have no LGBTQ plus symbols, ceremonies, or promotional activities inside the stadium or as part of the match environment.
Egypt also pushed back as both countries criminalize same-sex relationships. Pride festivities, however, will go on around the stadium. FIFA says the match itself is not officially tied to Seattle Pride. A new legal development for two former Alaska Airlines flight attendants. They were fired over internal posts about the Equality Act and transgender access to spaces. Their attorney, Stephanie Taub, discussed the case with Seattle Red's Jason Rantz.
They posted based on their religious beliefs. The platform that they were posting on says they welcomed disagreement, but in fact, that's absolutely not the case.
A federal appeals court has now reinstated their lawsuit after it was dismissed earlier. No comment yet from Alaska Airlines. Microsoft is raising Xbox prices starting August 1st. The cheapest version is climbing to $500. Apple is making similar moves, boosting prices on MacBooks and iPads by as much as $300. Both companies point to a global shortage of memory and storage chips, driven in parts by the booming demand for AI. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, it is so busy out there. Tacoma to Olympia, an hour, 10 minutes. You're jam-packed from JBLM into Olympia. 17 miles of backups here. Olympia to Tacoma has spiked to an hour 25, all because of this stalled semi. North 5 in Lacey and Marvin Road is blocking two of your three lanes, and you're bumper-to-bumper into Olympia now. Now, the Old Pacific Highway is quickly filling in between State Route 510 and I-5. Over in Yelm, eastbound 510 in front of Southworth Elementary. Collision blocks that eastbound lane. Seattle to Federal Way, a 35-minute commute. It's also 35 minutes from Bellevue to Renton, and also 35 minutes from Linwood into downtown Seattle. Everett to Marysville just climbed a few minutes, taking you now a half hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And to the forecast now, we do have some pockets of rain at this hour, mainly in Snohomish County and also over the mountains, and looking like mostly cloudy skies across the region through the weekend. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home comfort. Home comfort. Heating. Cooling. Plumbing.
Home Comfort Alliance.
Home Comfort Alliance. Cheapo keyboard there from Casio Keyboard.
Got a unique sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alrighty, there's the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 1-888-973-5476. Okay. Economists have long wanted prediction markets. This isn't what they had hoped for. The idea that gambling and all of the, what are the three biggies that everybody uses for gambling on everything?
Polymarket,
yeah,
Kalshi. I don't know. I don't know of a third one. Those are kind of the two.
There's a there's a thing I get know me that email. I get it every single day now. I don't know why I got signed up for it, but it gives you everything that's going on in the poly market. You could every single where it's going up or down. Like, will AOC run for president? Right, you can see it. And basically, the way these things, why it works is it takes the entire everybody's group knowledge. And when you put everybody together in one big group, you get this demographic slice of everything. And you can just generally get a pretty good sense of which way something's going to turn out based upon, it's called collective knowledge. They would hope, economists often look for indicators in the market as to which way things are going, and then they can make some predictions based on some things. But they say that when it comes to prediction markets, the poly market and any other gambling market just doesn't give them a clear and direct connection between one thing and the other to be able to predict which way things are going to move.
Well, it's also the sports element to it is what I think that most economists that were for this 2 decades ago are now saying, well, that kind of ruins it because there's so much money involved. It's so easy to manipulate some of these things in really weird different ways.
Right, because you can have one person. The difference with this and the economy is, right, the economy is regulated by 300 million or 330 some million decisions. Anybody that's got $1 to spend something, each one of those people can affect the market if you get enough of them moving in one direction. But when it comes to one guy can decide, there's a bunch of bets on me getting a yellow card at a soccer match, therefore I'm going to do something so that one guy can affect a whole bunch of money moving in one direction or another.
Right, and then that's the big difference between the prediction markets and just traditional, sports gambling online or in a casino or whatever.
Yeah,
is that there's so many of these weird kind of prop bet things. So when you're betting the spread of a game in basketball or something, you're typically there's pretty limited scope of what types of things you can bet on. But like this guy who was arrested recently in European soccer, it was whether or not he would get a yellow card in a match. Well, that's a lot harder for regulators or investigators to kind of
dig under it, right?
Yeah, because
you can intentionally just go over and do something,
right? Yeah, just you freak out for presumably no reason and yell at a ref, and all of a sudden you got a yellow card, and then boom.
I didn't read the new type of gambling scandal. Is that basically the same thing?
Exactly.
With
Yeah.
Well, then the gambling disorder, I know from personal experience from somebody I love dearly that got wrapped up in this stuff. In fact, he came on the radio and talked about it. Didn't
right.
he? Yeah, his name is Rye. That's all I'm going to say. No last names. I looked up to see what country does the most amount of gambling, and I saw that it was really interesting that, of course, if you have a Muslim country, no gambling at all. But then you're like, okay, who else doesn't gamble much? The lowest problem for gambling, Germany, 0.4% gamble. The Netherlands, 0.6%. There are other countries that do more. The United States is in there. It's the fastest growing addiction. Sure, because more people are more easily to get into it, get all that. So Muslims and Hindus and Catholics tend not to gamble that much. And the reason the Germans don't is because the Protestant Reformation, and you get Martin Luther King emphasizing the divine calling, the diligence, the thrift, the responsibility. You just work too hard for your money to just have it just wasted away on something. But people want to be able to get a quick, easy, 5,000, 10, turn something into $30,000. It makes you feel really good. And, it's better than having to go into work. There's two ways you can make money. One of them is to do a slip and fall, then call somebody and get some attorney. Have you fallen? Do you think you're going to fall? Do you feel like you want to fall down? Do you want somebody to come to your house and push you over? We'll sue. We'll work hard for you. You ever drive in Las Vegas? Every single one, I'll show you as a perfect example. It's just a gambling town. Every billboard going into the city and coming out of the city is some guy with a weird hairline telling you he's going to fight hard for you and get you money. Ever seen this?
Yes.
Everything is about, you sue, we'll get you money. It's that you've lost something and the easiest way to get you the money out. Or there's a billboard for pawn shops. Anything to keep you going so you can continue to get money. I've had nothing to do one day. I was in Reno and I was looking for a guitar. I like to go around these pawn shops. You might find something. I thought I was going to sit in here and using the sad people coming in, what can you give me for this watch? Ugh. Oh, God. They're only rolling in there, and then they go back into the casinos again because they get the easy way to get the money, to get back up, to get the cash.
Yeah, we had Mike Shatson a couple of days ago from Alaska who had this really traumatic upbringing, and he said when they moved to, I think it was Montana, and they had Keno, was basically you could play video Keno in every gas station, and his mom immediately within
his adopted mom went through $325,000.
Yeah, which is just
One of my favorite stories was Toast. Was it Leon Toast? Toast. T-O-S-E. Leonard Toast. Leonard Toast. He owned the Philadelphia Eagles. Was the richest guy in Philadelphia. Everybody knew him and didn't love him or hate him. He was a big trucking company. He had a serious gambling problem. They sent a helicopter to his house. I think it was in Gladwin, Pennsylvania. They picked him up and they flew him to Atlantic City. And then he blew through millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Then he sued, and he said, the lawyer was, they knew he had a drinking problem. They knew that he had a gambling problem. They picked him up in a helicopter. They flew him there. They gave him alcohol. It's their fault. We want the money back. And the judge said, he's an adult. He knew what he was drinking. He knew the effects of alcohol. They didn't in any way change the alcohol. They didn't give him more. They didn't add anything to it. It was pure alcohol. He knew what he was doing. These are decisions he made along the way. Atlantic City Casino, I forget which one it was, does not owe Mr. Toast anything. So Mr. Toast ends up dying in a pauper hotel, a broken down old flea bag of a hotel. And he was only paid for, the only person that paid his bills, that got him some food and paid the monthly bill, was Kelly, Jack Kelly, whose sister was, come on.
Ooh, quarterback?
No, sister didn't play football.
No,
died in a car accident in Monte Carlo.
No idea. Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly, there you go. Congratulations, Joe.
Yes.
Joe, do you want to hold on to what you have, or
let it ride, baby?
Let it ride, or you want to cash it in for a traffic report from Nate? What do you want to do? We'll give you a chance to think about it.
You know what? I love Nate.
You're gonna cash in your winnings.
Yep.
All right. And here comes Nate taking a look at traffic. Nathan.
Here is your prize, Joe. Everett to Marysville is a half-hour commute. We're bumper to bumper from the Boeing Freeway all the way to 528 there in Marysville, where we have this disabled vehicle partially blocking that left lane. So it's been there a good 45 minutes, and we're still waiting for a trooper or even a tow to arrive. And once they do, they'll block that left lane. Also, northbound 529, we're bumper to bumper between Everett and Marysville. Your backups start on Broadway and East Marine View Drive. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes, just scattered backups in Kirkland, and again through Bothell. 405, you're looking pretty good. South 405 also slows through Bothell. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. We're looking pretty good here with just minor slowing between Shoreline and Mill Creek. South 5 heading into Seattle is jam-packed from Northgate into downtown. 40 minutes from Linwood into downtown Seattle. And North 5, we're slow from the north end of Boeing Field now into downtown. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road Road RV, free parking and admission.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility, rewarding work, and the chance to make a real difference in your community. If you've been a caregiver before, now is the perfect time to return to this meaningful career and continue making an impact. Washington needs more caregivers, and your compassion, work ethic, and ability to connect with people could be the answer. Turn your care for others into a career you'll love. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Valuable science is money right there we could be making. That silence is money. You know that. Could have been a home comfort spot. Calm down. We love you. People need a break every once in a while.
That's what I'm trying to say. Although you do go on the board for that.
Yes! Yes!
Yes, I do.
Yes! Put yourself on the board. You know what? Or even better, why don't you just fall into a giant outhouse?
Now to a situation that flat out stinks in eastern Fresno County. First responders rescuing a man trapped in a vault toilet near Shaver Lake.
A what?
A vault toilet.
Okay.
This is at Camp Edison this afternoon. The Fresno County Sheriff's Office says the whole thing starting when the man dropped his glasses.
Okay, at 36 seconds, will the guy make any more like kind of scatological jokes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. How many more scatological jokes? Like, boy, that stinks. Or
one.
Just one more? Okay, Joe, and one, and two for Joe. Andrew, do you want to play along? You're still sort of butthurt.
I'll say yes, he will.
Okay. You say yes. How many?
3.
Whoa. All right, here we go. Ready? 35 seconds left. Go.
In a toilet. That's right, a toilet. Instead of letting them go. They say he tried getting them back.
Did that count? I'm going to say no.
Go.
No.
No, okay. Here we go.
Back before falling in. And we mean all the way in.
Be a Spanish translator.
This guy, it seemed like he's walking you right up to the joke, but he wouldn't give you the joke. He's teasing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, hang on. There's 22 seconds left.
They advised that the subject had fallen into the chemical storage tank.
They like the word in.
Law enforcement, Camp Edison staff, fire personnel responded. We were able to safely get him out, decontaminate him, and he'll be okay.
The sheriff's office says...
Okay, 7 seconds. Got to get one in here, right?
Yes,
he was
one.
in there.
Wait, hold on. Stop yelling, Nate. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Here we go.
Says he was in there for 10 to 15 minutes, and we're still working to find out whether the man got his glasses back.
There it is. Bam.
Oh.
Wait, what?
No. Nothing. He didn't do anything. Happened the same. The woman was in Australia. She suffered a similar fate in the remote Outback. Oh, I thought I read it, that she fell into a toilet at the Outback restaurant.
A woman in the Australian Outback was stuck waist deep in poo for 3 hours after a toilet like this collapsed. The woman was on a road trip from Darwin to Canberra with her family when she stopped for a toilet break. Pit toilets like this are common in remote and rural areas. They don't have a flush and they just collect human waste in a deep hole in the ground. After 3 hours stuck in there, she was rescued by a local tradesman who just happened to be passing by. An eyewitness said he lowered a rope into the pit for the woman to hold onto, and then he used his cart to lift her out. She was taken to hospital but did not suffer any serious injuries, reports say.
Okay, as long as we're on the discussing topic, I was reading about the Manduri tribe. They use the cow urine to wash their hands, face, teeth, and bleach their hair. And some drink it, believes it infuses purity. And then the Dinka tribe, similar thing, washing, tanning hides, burning dung and fires to create ash to keep blood-sucking ticks and parasites away. So
there's one festival in India. I don't remember what it's called, but they had like thousands and thousands of men gather. They rub cow dung all over each other, and it's basically like a mud-covered. You'd think it was mud, but no.
Okay. All right. Good. There you go, Joe. Thanks, everybody.
There was also a woman in Washington just a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Fell into one.
Yeah, to be in there for 15 minutes. I think the one guy, was she the one that fell in head first?
So here's a little sound on this one.
Happy Tuesday, Snooze Day, everybody. Hey, okay, just a slight warning. If you're eating breakfast right now, take
is this
a
pause.
local?
It's not this is the local incident, not a local news.
Okay, here we go.
And eat a mint real quick or something, okay? Because a woman in Washington State dropped her phone in an outhouse and then went in the outhouse toilet, which is a basically big hole, and she tried to fish it out. She fell in head first.
Oh, no.
Yes, indeed.
like
you know them holes are deep in them things.
Oh,
anyway.
Just sticking your hand in is bad enough.
Why would you stick your hand in there? Once in the toilet, though, she was able to find her phone. She called for help from in there, upside down.
Oh.
And these firemen came to rescue her, and they posted this picture here.
Poor fireman, too.
The woman was not hurt, by the way, but she sure did have a crappy day.
Oh, he had to go in there. All right. As a guy who had an outhouse for 3 years, I mean,
Spend much time down there?
Wasn't that bad, huh?
Do you go down in the reservoir?
Then you throw some lye in there every once in a while. It wasn't that bad. It's like, the only thing with people, the worst part was Nick locked the door or closed the door, and then the little wooden handle came down on the other side, and then she was stuck in there for like 20 minutes and got all upset because I didn't hear her. And then she kicked the door out and broke the thing off. It was like a real outhouse. It had the half moon.
I can't believe she dated you while you still lived.
It was touch and go at that point. It wasn't. She was not too happy about that. And then the other time when she had to go to the bathroom, she's like, "Oh, I got to go to the bathroom." I said, "Okay, yeah, go to the bathroom." I said, "Whoa,
Move on.
All right, then you know what? Screw you. Fine. You know what? You won't.
No, I want to hear it.
No.
I want to hear it.
No. Pearls before swine. You're not going to hear it. Here's Nate with traffic you probably heard before. Oh, what's backed up now?
All right, South 5 is backed up from Northgate into downtown. 40 minutes from Linwood into downtown. Hey, get over to 99. That's wide open pretty much between Shoreline and downtown. North 5 slows in the north end of Bowling Field in the downtown. The Lake Bridges look great. South 405, bumper to bumper from Mid-Bellevue through Factoria. North 5 will stop and go through South Center from I-5 through the S-curve, South Center to Bellevue a half hour. Seattle to, I said North 5. It's North 405. Seattle to Federal Ways at 35 minutes. You're crowded from Inner Urban to 516. And South 320th, you're going to jam up again all the way through that Fife curve. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News. I'm Mike Dabusky. U.S. military officials say they've launched new retaliatory strikes against Iran after Iran conducted a drone strike on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday. ABC's Christiane Cordero reports from Washington.
According to Iranian state media, this strike happened just off the coast, or really on the coast off the Strait of Hormuz, essentially Iran's southern shores. And what U.S. Central Command is saying is that this was a response to yesterday's attack on a commercial ship that was transiting the Strait of Hormuz. We know that the Strait of Hormuz has been really the focal point of this war over the past several months.
It comes the same day Israel and Lebanon say they've agreed to a framework peace agreement, though Hezbollah's position remains unclear. The first plane full of American aid has arrived in Venezuela, where the death toll from this week's earthquakes now stands at 920. At least 3,300 were wounded. This is ABC News. The Centers for Disease Control today elevated its response to the Ebola outbreak to level 1, its highest designation. That means Ebola is now being treated the same as the H1N1 pandemic and the Zika virus outbreak. A house explosion triggered by a gas leak rocked Twinsburg Township, Ohio yesterday. Today, Fire Chief Earl Wilson said it's a miracle no one was killed.
We've transported 2 people. Minor injuries considering the amount of damage.
Authorities say the gas leak was caused by a contractor drilling. Major wildfires are burning across several states in the western U.S., with Utah's governor declaring a state of emergency and restricting fireworks ahead of July 4th celebrations. Fires burning in Arizona as well. And Gracie, that missing giraffe in Texas that captured the attention of social media in recent days, has been found safe and healthy about 4 miles south of where she went missing. I'm Mike Dabusky, ABC News.
When sports and politics collide, a preview of tonight's World Cup match in Seattle after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
It's brought to you by your KIRO Newsradio app. Olympia to Tacoma, an hour and a half. And in Lacey, we've got this long-term disabled semi. This is the cause of this. It's blocking 2 right lanes at Marvin Road. That leaves 1 lane open, and you're in a parking lot, bumper to bumper, starting almost at Highway 101 in Olympia. Tacoma to Olympia, 1 hour drive. We're packed through JBLM and DuPont, and then more scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. Over to Yelm, where we just cleared that crash eastbound 510 in front of Southworth Elementary. No longer any backups down there. If you're heading into Gig Harbor, westbound 16, it's packed from the west end of the Narrows up to Burnham Drive. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're struggling from Northgate into downtown. That is a bumper-to-bumper backup. 40 minutes from Linwood into downtown. Head over to 99. That route is wide open. The downtown tunnel's starting to fill up. And North 5, we've got scattered backups from the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Text app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. It is Pride Match Day in Seattle as Iran takes on Egypt. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery reports from Stoop Brewing on Capitol Hill. This is just steps from Capitol Hill's Pride Weekend celebrations. Jillian.
Aaron, the game has had a lot of controversy in the run-up, but today the bar is buzzing and multiple big screens already have World Cup coverage on with the match hours away. Megan Coombs here at Stoop has been working with the city for 2 years on FIFA preparations and says even with politics and emotions hanging over today's game, Seattle is showing the World Cup visitors what Pride is all about.
Seattleites are welcoming them with open arms, and they're loving it.
Every kind of Pride.
Every kind of pride, yeah. All of the countries, all of the belief systems, all of the sexuality, diverse identities.
All get along,
yeah, exactly. That's what this is all about.
I did see the first visible soccer fans walk in wearing no Iran war shirts. So far, everything is peaceful. There is a pretty happy vibe around here. We'll be reporting all evening in the lead up to the game. I'm Jillian Raftery reporting on Capitol Hill for KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Jillian. Now, more bad news for state budget writers. Projected state revenue is down by nearly $1 billion since February. Dave Reich is the Economic and Revenue Forecast Council Executive Director. He says people are still spending money.
We expect that to sort of slow over the course of the year. Some of that has been aided by elevated tax refunds, and now those are kind of in the rearview mirror, and so we're likely to see slower growth later part of this year.
Economic slowdown means a projected $427 million decrease in the current biennium, driven by lower personal income and slower employment growth, he says. Republican lawmakers are pushing back after Washington's new carbon market deal. The state signed that agreement yesterday. It links its climate program with California and Quebec, arguing it'll help drive down costs for pollution credits. Representative Dan Griffey argues it still won't help drivers paying some of the highest gas prices in the country.
It is absolutely pricing all Washingtonians over a cliff. Them rejiggering this carbon market, I do not believe is going to give us a heck of a lot of relief.
He tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red, rural communities are hit the hardest because they have no alternatives to driving. And the strike is over at a renowned Seattle restaurant. Owners of the Walrus and the Carpenter say a collective bargaining agreement with the union comes after more than 16 months of negotiations. The Walrus and the Carpenter has received multiple James Beard nominations since it opened in 2010. To your forecast now, we are looking at clouds for tonight and partly cloudy skies through the weekend. Some light rain at times as well. Right now, 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
Sorry.
I can't read it. There's no words on it. I can't do it.
Okay,
we'll do it live.
No.
We'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Bill's mad. Bill is mad. There was no words there. I can't read it.
What do we do now?
He'll write it and we'll do it live. That's what we're gonna have to do. He seems upset. Let's just here we go. Everybody's walking on, tenterhooks around here. Diving in their nose. The full analysis of that thing was he didn't know what play us out meant. That was his problem. It said, here's the latest cut from Sting's album to play us out. He didn't know what play us out meant. So
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean?
Stop for 1 second. Bill, what it means is you're going to say, thanks for watching. Here's Sting from his latest album to play. And then we're going to bring in his song. That's what play us out means. But he didn't get that. So then he said, I don't know what play us out. What did he say? Do you remember?
No, I don't have that part.
Oh.
But I have his live hit, though. I have what he put together.
Yeah, okay. Then here he is. Now he has to make it up. Watch this.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Take it away, Sting.
Little clunky. There we go. Poor old Bill O'Reilly. He looks like he's been put into one of those machines where you put like an apricot in there for 20 minutes and you pull it out. And then it's all dried.
Dehydrator?
It was real like a Remco dehydrator.
Slap a lot of makeup on him.
No, he's near the end, I'm afraid. Here's Aaron with Death Watch on Bill O'Reilly. Aaron? What's that? Never mind. Moving on. Let's see. Jamie Peterson from the 43rd district, that is, you get about 74% of the folks are renters. The household income is $229,000. Highly educated, bachelor's degrees and graduate degrees. They're right there in the heart of the University of Capitol Hill. And normally Jamie Peterson, who is a lion of the Senate in Olympia, he's gay, he's a man. He was a big advocate for gay marriage. People love the guy. He would win with like 91%. Nobody comes near him. He wins with most stuff. But then this year, look out of nowhere, right there, the champ is hurt. You have a challenger coming in. She's 30 years old. Number one in your program, number one in your hearts. Hannah Sabi Howe. Did I get it? Close enough for me? She has decided that she wants to run against Jamie Peterson. So she's going to run to the left of the guy that helped put together the illegal millionaires tax.
Hey, over here. Come here for a sec.
Okay.
This is the 43rd District. My name is Hannah Savio Howell, and I'm running to be the next state senator of this community.
Why does it sound like you sped her up, Joe?
It might have accidentally put it on double speed.
That's not fair.
And last night, we won the sole endorsement of the 43rd District Democrats against the 20-year incumbent that we're challenging. And here's what that tells me. We are ready for change. With an affordability crisis squeezing us from the inside and the Trump regime attacking us from the outside, more of the same isn't good enough. We know that we can build more housing more quickly to put homeownership within reach and bring down rent. We can set Washington on a path to establish universal childcare.
It's interesting. All the stuff that they point to that create that, that makes it unaffordable is pretty much the government. And you think, okay, anytime the government gets involved, has the price of anything come down? But, okay, so the one is we, meaning that we being the government, are going to build more houses. All right, there you go. We are going to build more houses. What else are we going to do?
A program that lifts so many working families out of struggle.
Oh, that's right. We are going to provide free childcare. Do you think when the government provides something free, you think the price goes up or down? Okay, and then?
And we can only do this through structural reform of a tax code that right now asks more of you and me than the biggest and wealthiest corporations in our state.
Okay, so then again, when they assume that the biggest and wealthiest corporations in the state, and she's also assuming corporations pay taxes. We've been through that before. We don't need to go over that again. She's assuming they're going to stay and stand there and get whipped. So
we can undo cuts to K-12, higher.
So they think there's cuts to K-12, right? They're spending $19,000 and more per student. And the amount of money that we spend in the state of Washington has gone up almost 40% in the last 4 or 5 years. So we are spending now more than we have ever spent and getting results that are absolutely embarrassing. But the idea is that we're going to spend more money, that we're not funding it enough. So we're going to get more money to pay for schooling. You ready this thing, John? Can't get this thing up. There we go. Sorry. Okay, more. Here we go. Ready? A little bit more. What else are we going to do?
Education and healthcare. And we can make Washington affordable.
So they're going to make Washington affordable by having the government get involved in a bunch of stuff.
I am so honored to have the trust and the faith of the 43rd District Democrats to be the best fighter for our bold and visionary leadership in Olympia. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, she's probably going to win, I'm assuming. The weird part is, Jamie Peterson, you think, would have it. I mean, the guy's been in there for more than 20-some years, but the party didn't endorse him. The party didn't. Now, the party has done this before. They've messed up only a few other times, endorsed somebody, and then that person doesn't win. But, man, they're going way out, further to the left of Jamie Peterson and getting somebody. I guess she checks more boxes. If you believe in the sort of intersectional politics, she's... I guess is she Hispanic? No, she's Filipino. I think she right.
She's black and something.
Okay,
she's
so
mixed.
she got that. So you get so Jamie, white skin. That's going to hurt you. Jamie's a guy. Does he get points for that? He gets 0. There's a negative for a guy, but he's gay, so he gains back the points he loses for being a guy. Okay, so he was at 0. Then he picked up. I think we gave him 1 point for being gay. Just 1? Okay, so he's back. So he's at 0 on that. Well, hey, that's why you're a problem right there. And then she is, I don't know, she's 30 years old, so she's young. He's old. She gets a point for that. She's also, her skin is darker than his. She gets 3 points for that. Is she also bi? Does she have some sort of, is she just, as they say, cis? No? Okay. So she's up by 4 points. So there you go. It's pretty much done for him. Because that's a big deal for people as they celebrate diversity, except for the diversity of somebody that's not part of their group. So he loses, if possibly. It'll be really interesting to see what happens, because when November rolls around, how much shine will still be coming from New York City and the 3 that were elected there. LA gets a DSA mayor. And the damage, I think, that people are starting to see develop with our buddy Katie Wilson, they could also start to go, geez, do we want to go in the same direction with Hannah as we went with Katie, as we see in some of these other cities? But the other part of it is I'm assuming he's going to pick up more money than she will, because the money really ends up being the gigantic thing that separates so many. You could lose, but if you get enough money behind you, he can run enough ads talking about he's been in there for 20 years. He knows how to get things done. That's some shocking news. I believe she came on with G and Ursula, right?
I don't know. You said that, but
yeah.
I haven't confirmed.
Yes. Did she, Andrew? She was on with G and Ursula, I think. They had her on? Yeah. What?
Who, Brandy?
Never mind. Why is it news to me, Joe? You work here.
You told me that. Where'd you hear it?
I saw it on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Never mind you then. New York
your
and
show to worry about.
No. The Democratic Socialists adopting the new radical platform that this is basically the idea that they're going to just try to take over and carry the ball further to the left. The same thing that they've done in Great Britain. They just want to be able to break down all these systems, and they still believe that if they can get just more power, more control, and squeeze the rich and get more of their money, everything will be better. But again, if you just think about it, anytime the government gets involved with something, the price of something goes up. College, and you can see it on an XY axis. When the government decided it's going to get in there and start to provide all these scholarships, and there's going to be all this funding, the colleges followed right along. You'd walk in with a $20,000 scholarship or some sort of cheap loan. The government's like, okay, so what do you got there? Oh, you got a $20,000. Well, what do you know? Look at tuition. So tuition on the XY axis and government funding, they went right beside one another. They paralleled each other. And the same thing when it comes to Medicare, healthcare. It's so expensive because nobody cares about the price of it, because the government covers the price by not allowing you to see what it is. If you went into a supermarket and you were scanning and beeping and scanning and beeping and do the whole thing, and you get an entire cart full of food, and then the person goes, okay, let's see, that'll be $30 copay. You're like, woohoo, look at all this. Wait, hold on, I'm going to run back and get some more meat. Beep, scan it, throw it in there. And then people complain about, wow, it's so expensive. Yes, because someone has to pay for it, and it ends up having to be all of us for the healthcare, because there's no price signals to tell you what something is supposed to cost. It's all been distorted because of the wage freeze that went into place, which is all another story. And the same thing with housing. If you look, about 40% of your house, the additional cost of the house is because of the government. The government has come in and said, oh, you need to have this type of heater. You need to have this type of thing. You've got to be able to growth management access. You only can build right here. That drives up the cost. You got to pay all these people all of this. You got to make sure that if it's government work being done, that they're paid at the federal rate, and the union has to be in there doing it. They are the ones that drive up the price of all this sort of stuff. Plus the reduction of zoning, of where they're allowed to put stuff. But somebody like Miss Hannah believes, oh, government's going to bring down the price. How are they going to do that? How would they do that? Certainly, think about this. Would you rather have a corporation providing a service, competing against other corporations, or the government? Who would the government compete against? No one. So the corporation competes against the other corporation to drive down the price, to deliver the good or product to you at the lowest price so that they beat out the other guy. And how they beat out the other guy? They allow you to see a price signal. Well, this one guy charges $10 for a cheeseburger, and this other guy only charges $8 for a cheeseburger, and that cheeseburger that tastes $8 tastes better than the other one. I'm going with the $8 burger. Look at that. You saved money. How? Because you created competition between one restaurant and another. Then the government comes in, it's a $15 burger. Or no, it's a $25 burger. You don't have a choice, and it tastes like crap. But it's better for you. Same thing happened with Inslee, right? Remember, he's going to drive down all the costs of everything. This interview that he did the other day, this is an interview from ABC News in March with Inslee talking about the price of gas.
We should have a president who will make rational decisions to keep our energy costs low.
Yeah, like not drilling, like closing down oil and gas reserves in the United States, and then spending trillions, almost trillions of dollars with a Green New Deal that didn't do crap for anyone.
And unfortunately, his decision-making is making our energy costs much, much more expensive. Look, gas has gone up to over $5 a gallon. It's gone up $1 a gallon in my state. The whole nation is suffering on this. But there's even a deeper effort on his behalf to keep us under the thumb of the oil and gas industry. So not only has he started a war, which is choking off supplies, which have driven prices up, but he's actually also trying to keep us addicted to coal and stopping Americans from getting cheaper sources of energy.
Good Lord. And then this week, In an interview on the podcast The Weekend, this is classic.
Donald Trump, given his cost, chaos, and corruption,
We likes the alliteration.
if he'll just get out of the way and stop his insane and corrupt bargain to try to force this dirty energy down Americans' throat. We're paying way too much.
Yeah, and everybody jumped on him and said, wait a minute, hold on. You passed the CCA, the Climate Commitment Act. Then you said it was only going to be pennies, and it turned out to be 54 cents, 57 cents, 58 cents. And you took the money, about $4.3 billion from us, and then you give it to all of your friends, the NGOs that are wasting the money. And it's a complete grift and shell game. But then everybody, most of the people, you have some of the responses to how people jumped all over poor Bob.
They're all Twitter comments.
Okay, yeah. Very upset that he's blaming Trump for the fact that the state of Washington, I think, is number 2 or number 3. Either Hawaii, California, and then Washington. It might be us at number 2 at this point. Yeah, here's a famous one right here. Remember this lie?
This is going to have minimal impact, if any. Pennies. We're talking about pennies, potentially.
Oh, my God. People knew it. Pennies only if the oil folks didn't pass on the cost. But, of course, they'd pass the cost on. So that's what ends up happening. Here's the other interesting little quick tidbit. So what happens is there are credits that the quote-unquote polluters can buy to offset the CO2. So there's a certain amount of credits are available, and then they have to bid at auction for them, which drives up the price. So now they're thinking we're going to go, Washington is going to get in with California and then part of Canada. What does that mean? That means there will be more credits available more credits, so we're going to increase the supply. We'll have the same number of people bidding on it, but then because there's more supply, then the cost will come down. So in effect, this is Ferguson and anybody else that's in there looking at it thinking, oh, you know what we can do? If we join in with everybody else, there'll be higher supply. Therefore, the cost of each credit at auction will slowly bring the price down. And then that way, it won't be as volatile and we'll be able to save some people some money. And everybody won't be breathing down our backs the whole time because of the cost of gas. Without having to be electrically shocked again, I'll have it standing by for 1 second. So the Climate Commitment Act has taken from all of us, I think in total about $4.3 billion, somewhere in there. It's taken $4.3 billion from us. In the time that it's done this, China and India have sent out into the atmosphere 51 billion metric tons of CO2. In the time they've taken $4 billion from us. And in return, we have reduced the amount of CO2 in the state of Washington, number unavailable. The Department of Ecology hasn't released it, but they did say that over the lifetime, we'll be able to reduce the amount of CO2 by 1.4 million. That's it. So in 3 years, China and India, 51 billion. We don't know how much CO2 we've released or captured, but we do know that they've taken $4 billion from us.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Okay, you're just saying that. You're just saying that.
Of course.
Okay, good. Because sometimes I think you say things just to say things.
Oh, me.
Speaking of somebody like that, here's Nate checking traffic. Nate on.
That hurt. Olympia to Tacoma taking you an hour 35 minutes due to this long-term stalled semi North 5 at Marvin Road in Lacey. There's some good news here. It's now blocking just the right lane instead of 2 lanes. So now 2 lanes are open, but you've got a 7 to 8 mile bumper-to-bumper backup stretching into Olympia. Tacoma to Olympia is still hanging on at 1 hour. We're packed between JBL and DuPont, and then more scattered slowing between Lacey and Olympia. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 35 to 40 minute commute. A little crowded through Renton and then already thinning out in the south end. Still heavy though through Algona and Pacific. South 5 into Seattle, we're packed from Northgate in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle plan on 40 minutes. And up in Everett to Marysville, we are struggling at a 35-minute commute. It is packed from 526 to 528, where a disabled vehicle partially still blocks that left lane. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. This is a test of your emergency alert system.
For years, I've been telling you how much we care for our hens and the land here at Wilcox Farms. But don't just take my word for it. Our family's commitment is backed by trusted third-party certifications. Hartley Wilcox here. Wilcox eggs are USDA organic, meaning no synthetic pesticides or GMOs. We're certified humane, ensuring our hens live with dignity and space to roam. We're salmon safe, protecting Northwest waterways, and recognized for sustainable farming practices. These aren't just labels. They're proof that every one of our eggs comes from a farm that values animal welfare, environmental stewardship, and your family's health. So next time you're at the store, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. They're not only delicious, they're certifiably humane and organic, raised with care you can trust. Learn more at wilcoxfamilyfarms.com, because doing the right thing isn't just our promise, it's our principle. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember you used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. The U.S. military struck Iran today, targeting missile, drone, and radar sites. This comes in response to an Iranian strike yesterday on a ship in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Rachel Scott has the latest.
The U.S. military delivering a, quote, powerful response, attacking Iran for what President Trump called a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement. It's been just over a week since President Trump signed the deal with Iran promising to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but then moving quickly to impose new rules.
Now, these latest attacks come as Seattle is hosting Iran's national football team for a World Cup match tonight. It is drawing protesters like Jasmine Farhan, who tells KIRO 7 TV she's calling for regime change in Iran.
We're here to support my people, the Iranian people of Iran, and the team of Iran that is playing in that stadium tonight. It's not representing my people.
Iran is set to face Egypt in what local organizers are calling the Pride Match as Seattle kicks off Pride Weekend. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery is live on Capitol Hill with more on that. Jillian.
Aaron, soccer is, of course, supposed to be fun, and there's lots of buzz around town, but it is very political. This game especially. It's the Pride match, and FIFA just affirmed yesterday that Pride flags are going to be allowed inside Seattle Stadium for the game. That's something that was in doubt up until yesterday. Both Egypt and Iran criminalized homosexuality, and both governments and teams had asked FIFA not to allow the flags. Well, they're going to be there, and there's going to be a lot of other political posturing and signage. I am at Stu's Brewing on Capitol Hill, the site of one of the Pride Match parties, and there's a big group here with Iran team jerseys and shirts with Iranian colors that say No Iran War, decked out with bracelets that are rainbow bracelets with Palestinian flag beads on them, and watermelon slices, which are a national symbol of Palestine. So there's going to be a lot of people showing off their identity and also political messages. Overall, these groups all say they hope everyone can keep politics in mind but enjoy the game. For now, live on Capitol Hill in Seattle, Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
All right, thank you, Jillian. And tonight's match does kick off at 8 o'clock. We will continue to be following it for you both on air and online at mynorthwest.com. For now, though, we go to Nate Connors at the Real Time Traffic Desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Speaking of the World Cup match, they have shut down streets in Pioneer Square and around the stadium district, so you can no longer get your vehicle, within a half mile to a mile of the stadiums. Olympia to Tacoma is an hour and 35-minute commute this afternoon due to this long-term disabled semi, North 5 and Marvin Road up in Lacey. It was blocking two right lanes for well over an hour. They just moved it to the right lane, so we've got two lanes open, but you've got a 7-mile bumper-to-bumper backup stretching into Olympia. Coming the other way, Tacoma to Olympia, plan on 1 hour. We're heavy between JBLM and DuPont. You'll clear out through Nisqually and then scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. In Renton, North 405 at State Route 169, we've got a crash blocking two left lanes. This is a new crash, and we're backed up to the Valley Freeway. South 405 heavy in Bellevue down to the VMAC in Renton. Bellevue to Renton is going to take you a half hour. 40 minutes from Linwood into downtown Seattle. Your backup starts in Northgate, and Everett to Marysville struggling at 35 minutes. We're heavy from 526 all the way to 528, where we still have this disabled vehicle partially blocking that left lane. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now, we are looking at cloudy skies and some pockets of rain as well. Could see some light showers during tonight's match at Seattle Stadium as well. And also some light rain for tomorrow, potentially, before we turn mostly cloudy for the rest of the weekend. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
As the world watches Seattle, KIRO 7 News will take you beyond the matches. Live team coverage inside the best fan experiences, unique local stories, and the lasting impacts of the games for our community. Connect to the Cup. Watch live in every newscast only on KIRO 7 TV.
Well said, well read, Joe. Bucky's Auto Service Centers, 15 locations, 16 locations. Been around for 51 years. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Sorry, it's not working. I don't feel it. I can't do this.
Working,
I can't do it. I can't do it. There's nothing written there. I can't do it.
You were just doing it, John.
I'll write it myself. I'll sing it myself. No, I don't have it. I don't have it today. I know we've rented the studio. I know we spent all this money. It's just not today, folks. Not today. Not today. No, not today, Joe. Stop. Just stop. Not today. Sorry, everybody. Oh, of course, we haven't done a story about Epstein in a while. Joe throws us in here, down into his hole, pulled this out. Yesterday's federal judge in Washington, D.C. orders the Justice Department to unredact additional pages of the Epstein files or provide an explanation for the redaction on or before the 2nd of July. So here is CBS News with...
A CBS News analysis is raising questions about unexplained redactions and what's missing from the Epstein files released so far. The Justice Department made more than 3 million pages of documents public under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, but the DOJ has also said it collected more than 6 million pages of material related to Jeffrey Epstein. So what's in the other half of those files?
Yes.
Our review identified several areas where questions remain or documents appear to be unreleased. The Epstein Files law provides only limited grounds for withholding information or redacting names. But for example, the DOJ redacted a photo of Steve Bannon. His face was blacked out, but the picture already exists online. The names of business contacts and acquaintances of Epstein appear to have been redacted without any obvious reason. And
just for a second, Matt, 3 million pages. 3 million. I'm going to make an assumption that these are human beings doing these redactions, right? Okay.
Yes.
So unless you're using AI on that thing and you put in there under a file source search, redact all, fill in the name, Bob Smith, and then it goes through the whole thing. Redact. So maybe you have a redaction file in the thing and then it just rolls through everything, anybody you want to protect, anybody you don't want in there, right? And then they release it, and that's pretty much we've done these stories over and over and over again. Then it's released, and then some news organization goes, hey, what about this? And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Give us 2 weeks. And then the story goes away, then it comes back again, goes away, comes back again, just keeps floating around out there. But someone like Joe just won't let it go.
Oh, please. Won't let it go. Of course not. Are you kidding me?
Names have been making the news recently. JJ Kafara, who Joe said, have you looked at him online? I haven't. He owns the company that did the non-bid contract to renovate the reflection pool there in D.C. He's getting a lot of attention this month, so we're tying everybody together. So, and this turns out Epstein had invested interest in some of his legal problems.
This is an email between Epstein and his lawyer. And his lawyer is saying, I received the materials from Joe. We'll let you know tomorrow whether the case in Ohio will end before Wednesday. And Epstein says, great. And then his attorney emails him back and says, case dismissed, State versus Cafaro. But who is Cafaro?
Yeah.
So we've all seen that the reflecting pool has turned green, right? And a no-bid contract was given to Green Water Solutions, an Ohio-based company whose owner is listed on the federal contract.
By the way, in some cases, if it's such a small amount, they don't have to do a bid, right? That in some cases, that's the way it normally works. But if it's a certain amount of money, then you have to do a bid. But on this one, the government, which blows through, how much, what did this thing cost?
I think it was like 18 million or something.
They go through that in 60 seconds. So here we go. Ready?
Document says J.J. Cafaro. So back to the case from 2011. The judge dismissed it
right? Down here you can see Cafaro Company and Flora Cafaro. That is JJ Cafaro's sister. How do I know that? Because when she died mysteriously 5 years later from smoke inhalation when there was no fire.
Oh my God.
The Tribune Chronicle wrote an article saying, Brother John J. Cafaro, our family is deeply saddened. He lives less than a mile from Mar-a-Lago, and he's pled guilty to campaign finance violations as well as bribery.
Okay, I'll give you this. Most of these people travel in the same circles. So I'll walk you through this. You can make some sort of sound or a weird eye contact when you think I go astray. You ready? Mm-hmm. So they live in Mar-a-Lago or they live in that neighborhood, right? And Trump's friends with him because he plays golf with them. And okay, so they travel in the same circles or in the same circle. There they are. All right. So they know that old JJ has a business. I don't know what he does, pools or something, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it's his friend. So then somebody says, hey, we want to get, the title. We want to get the pool looking better. And Trump goes, yeah, let's get that thing all cleaned up. And they're like, okay, we got to get that. Oh, I know a guy. Hang on. I know a guy. There's a guy who used to play at the golf course with me. His locker was like right across. Call JJ. Okay? So there you go. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
So it's not this weird. So the connection, and Epstein is also traveling in all those circles.
Yep.
All of a sudden, when you start making millions and billions of dollars or whatever, then Epstein shows up. The same thing with Gates. He's in there. That's his job. Epstein's job was to be circling and swimming and doing stuff in this social.
Collecting dirt, blackmailing.
With all these people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where he comes from. So, what else is there to it? I mean, the fact that they spent, what, 13 was the total amount of money they spent on the thing?
No. See, you're focusing on the wrong thing. This is the only reason the reflecting pool is even in this story is because that happens to be the guy that did it.
Okay.
But this guy, Epstein, paid his legal fees to get
there's more than, hang on.
In 2011, Epstein wanted to get the State versus Cafaro case dismissed, and he spent a lot of money.
What's that noise?
She has like a duck.
Okay.
Working on that. I mean, he was spending big money at this time, and this is June for that lawyer only. So I was looking all through the Epstein files trying to figure out why.
That's not a duck. That's going to be like a...
It looks like a duck.
Does it walk like a duck?
She's holding it so it doesn't walk.
You missed it. Let's try it again. What, is it sound like a duck?
Quacks like a duck.
Walks like a duck? It's got to be a duck.
Yeah.
Why did he want to try and get these people off? Because that case was dismissed in June of 2011. July of 2011... He is asking the CIA for a FOIA request.
Stop it, Nate.
On him.
Stop it, Nate.
And Epstein made.
Stop. Joe's worked hard on this thing, and you're in there making noise. Hang on. Joe, just sum it all up without Nate making noise in the background.
The looks like a duck, quacks like a duck is a duck metaphor is apt in this case because not only did Epstein pay to get this guy's charges dismissed and a couple of I think it was a fraud case in 2011, but everything else on this guy is completely absent. He was so invested in this guy, he requested from the CIA a FOIA, like a full dossier on this guy. And there's records of that. He also requested the same thing from the
Who's
department.
Epstein. Epstein requested from the CIA a whole bunch of stuff on this guy.
On this guy, yes. But
on JJ.
There's nothing else. The only thing that came out about it is this email with him and his lawyer talking about, oh, yeah, we got his case dismissed. So that just points to the fact that there are 3 million missing pages from this, and that's not an accident. And everybody involved and everybody that's accused of anything in there looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and most likely is a duck. And one of these days, that's going to come out.
And the thing that they will be accused of is that they raped children.
I mean, that's what they are accused of. The question is whether there's proof of that.
Right. But then you have to say, they're not alive anymore.
You do?
I'm just saying that what will society do with that?
Oh, you mean the people that are guilty? I think plenty of them that are accused are still alive, and the question is, will they still be alive when evidence finally comes out?
And Roman Polanski drugged a minor and then raped her, and then Roman Polanski got a standing ovation at the Academy Awards. He wasn't there, but they gave him a standing ovation, and I think 7 years ago or something like that. certain people just sort of, well, you know what, they do great work or whatever, and we can look the other way and who's really a victim on this sort of stuff. Because what you're saying is that if all of this became public, they would fall from grace in society. And they would
I think governments would fall from grace.
You're assuming that the people would say, well, that behavior was so horrible, the whole government's going to come down.
No, I'm saying governments are propped up by what this conspiracy that's inside.
I got to go to Nate. He's sitting there making noises. All right, Nate.
Global Credit Union has the update. Olympia, Tacoma, an hour and 35 minutes. We've got this disabled semi North 5 at Marvin Road blocking the right lane, and that's what's causing this thick backup into Olympia. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down to 50 minutes. Over in Renton, North 405 at 169. A crash blocks 2 left lanes. You're backed up into South Center now. North 5 into Seattle, looking pretty good. We're clearing out. Scattered backups now from the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Seattle to Everett, 40 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, 45. And Everett to Marysville down just a few minutes to a half hour. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Jonathan here from DUI Heroes, and did you know that there's a place you can go to find out everything you've ever wanted to know about DUI but were afraid to ask? That's right, DUI Heroes has its own YouTube channel at DUI Heroes where you can find the DUI Q&A, 36 separate videos with free information about what happens during a DUI arrest. Be informed. You can fight back. Give us a call at 1-800-DUI-HERO or find us online at DUIHeroes.com.
DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only because they've got below prime deals. That's right, top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, You'll be sorry.
Spring is here, and it's time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction, your trusted local roofing team. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected all season long. Spike O'Neill here. Visit IntegrityRC.com to schedule a free roof assessment and video inspection today. Serving our community with over 10 years' experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with everything from simple roof repair to full renovation. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit IntegrityRC.com. That's IntegrityRC.com or call 206-202-ROOF.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
AC acting up? Don't assume the worst. Home Comfort Alliance repairs first and only replaces if it makes sense. If you do need a new one, ask about an ultra-efficient heat pump and get real pricing in 60 seconds. Call the Comfort People. HomeComfortAlliance.com. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 1-888-973-85. 76. That last segment, Nate threw an invitation to that duck, and then Joe's thinking, sitting there like, I didn't think there were many duck sounds in that interview.
Yeah,
good job, Nate.
Very accurate.
Very professional of you.
Thank you.
Well, it wasn't a compliment.
Oh.
Whatever. Yeah, because when am I going to get a chance to mention that I'm going to be at a signing for the,
We can do it right now. Look,
okay, good. Let's do it right now. You ready?
Yep.
I can do it right now. I'm doing it. You ready to go?
Yeah.
So Brandy Cruz, beloved Brandy Cruz from Undivided, big fan of many people that work here at KIRO. If she were to come back, I'm sure they'd have a big party for her. Brandy, a guy named Ari Hoffman. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Is it Ari or A-R-E? I'm like kidding. Ari, myself, Brandy, and of course the man himself. Is Brian going to be there? No, Brian won't be there. I'm the one looking at the thing, Joe.
Your event.
It's a big super signing event going to be happening for you to be able to say, I don't trust you. I don't think it's going to be a millionaire's tax. I think it's going to be in everybody's tax. So screw you. Your chance to sort of, metaphorically throw the tea into Boston Harbor. But in this case, it's going to be Virginia Mason Building, the old Virginia Mason Building. 222 112th Avenue Northeast, Bellevue. We'll be there from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Brandy, myself, and Ari. Final chance for the big turnout. They need more than 300 and...
Already got them.
Well, see, Joe... Okay, now... See, what I was going to do was going to hold that back. Because now at this point, you're like, don't bother going out there.
We drum rolled it on this show.
I know, but then it would...
They're trying to set a record.
Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. We want everybody to come out because we're trying to get a record. 317,506. This is the week 4 signature total, 16 days left. So I got that one, right? But the total amount, you want the real amount that just came in?
Yes.
We have a drum roll, or does Nate want to make sounds with his face? That's not going to do it. That's good, too. What was the total amount they needed, Joe?
I think they needed 305,000.
So this is like from the Jerry Lewis telethon, where he's all oily. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I was too busy talking. And he's got the bow tie off. Hey, Timpany! 425,023.
Damn. They only needed 308.
And the record going for is more than 600. And that was set back in 1974, I think, when the people of Washington found out that the lawmakers in Olympia had given themselves a pay increase. I love this. 600,000 people are like, not so fast. No way. Always probably like an extra $4 an hour. Whatever the mileage was, they're like, no, we're not letting you do that. 600,000 people signed an initiative saying, no, you don't get a pay increase. So Brian Hayward's like, you know what? Let's see if we can beat that. I'll tell you something right now. With just at 425,000, they still have a few more to go. They're going to get another total in there on Saturday. But Brandy, myself, and Ari will be out there coming up on Sunday, the 28th, from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Would love to meet everybody out there. Come on out.
10 to 3. Wow.
What?
Be there all day.
Well, you know, you get a chance to meet people. I'm sure someone's going to bring a snack. It's going to be fun. I love it. Good stuff. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Brandy. And maybe some other folks from KIRO Radio will be out there. You think anybody else from KIRO will be out there?
Everybody.
Think about some of those other hosts. Are they all in on this one? Huh?
Actually, yes. But
who? Charlie?
Everyone that is on the air on this station is against the income tax.
Okay. No one's holding out on it?
Nope.
Interesting. Well, good for them. All right. Here comes Nathan, second track. Nathan.
Yes, sir. Up in Lacey, after 3 hours, we just cleared that stalled semi, North 5 at Marvin Road, opening up all lanes. We're backed up bumper to bumper into Olympia. Olympia to Tacoma right now is at an hour, 25 minutes. Out toward Gig Harbor, westbound 16. Still jam-packed from 24th up to Burnham Drive, just volume here. North 405 at the Maple Valley Highway there in Renton. Crash blocks 2 left lanes. Your bumper to bumper backup now starts coming off I-5 in South Center. So we're 35 minutes from South Center into Bellevue. Bellevue to Renton coming southbound. We are clearing out just at 25 minutes now. Still heavy between Southeast 8th and Northeast 44th near the VMAC. South 5 into Seattle, bumper to bumper from 80th into downtown. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour. And Everett to Marysville down about 25 minutes. We're still heavy, though, from 526 all the way up to 528. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Download the KIRO News Radio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO News Radio app.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The U.S. striking Iranian missile, drone, and radar sites today.
What U.S. Central Command is saying is that this was a response to yesterday's attack on a commercial ship that was transiting the Strait of Hormuz. We know that the Strait of Hormuz has been really the focal point of this war over the past several months.
ABC's Christian Cordero. Search and rescue operations around the clock in Venezuela after a pair of powerful earthquakes. The death toll now at least 920. 33 people injured and more than 50,000 people unaccounted for. A federal judge declaring a mistrial in the Palisades arson trial of Jonathan Renderneck. The jury deadlocked, unable to reach a verdict after 2 days of deliberations. Prosecutors say they'll retry the case. Former hedge fund chief Leon Black voluntarily appeared before the House Oversight Committee today to speak about his relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. Black refused to answer a number of questions, finally walked out. He's now been subpoenaed. This is ABC News. A new lawsuit offers insight into Red Lobster's bankruptcy background.
Customers loved it, but $20 Ultimate Endless Shrimp helped to drive Red Lobster into bankruptcy. Now some creditors are suing the former controlling shareholder, Thai Union, saying that seafood producer demanded the promotion remain in place because it benefited from it. In its filing, the creditors called the Endless Shrimp deal a car crash.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Washington, D.C. has reached a settlement agreement for an undisclosed amount with a resident who claims police illegally detained him following an Ohio National Guard patrol in September while he was playing Darth Vader's Star Wars Imperial March on his phone. Earth will get a close encounter this weekend. An asteroid named 1997 NC1 will make its closest approach Saturday morning, coming within 1.6 million miles, according to the European Space Agency. It's between 2,400 and 5,400 feet wide, about the size of 2 to 4 Empire State Buildings. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Coming up, high tensions ahead of tonight's World Cup match between Egypt and Iran. A live report from the stadium after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. In Lacey, after 3 hours, we just cleared that stall semi North 5 and Marvin Road. So we're still dealing with a hefty backup bumper to bumper into Olympia, but slowly improving. Olympia to Tacoma now an hour and 20 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down to 45 minutes. We've thinned out through JBLM. We're getting there in DuPont, and a little crowding left as you head into Olympia. In Renton, we just cleared our collision north 405 at State Route 169. Had a couple lanes blocked. That's why it's bumper to bumper coming off 55 in South Center. After you get past the Valley Freeway, you're going to clear out. 40 minutes, though, from South Center to Bellevue. Bellevue to Renton, we're clearing out. It's slow from Southeast 8th down to the VMAX still. It's going to take you about 25 minutes. South 5 into Seattle, we're still bumper to bumper at 80th in the downtown. It's a half hour from Linwood to Seattle. North 5 is pretty close to calling it cleared out. And Everett to Marysville still struggling at 25 to 30 minutes. And we're still heavy from 526 up to 528, where this stalled vehicle, mostly on your left shoulder, but slightly sticking out over that fog line in the left lane. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. You can listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. It is another World Cup match day in Seattle, and this time politics and pride are colliding. The city kicking off Pride Weekend just as Egypt and Iran prepare to play at Lumen Field. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery is there. She joins us live. Jillian.
And I am right in the middle of revelry right now. I'm going to walk right into it so you can hear there are horns honking and flags waving right across the street from me. There is an Egyptian flag that's got to be 10 feet flag part. There is immense national pride on both sides on display. But like you said, yes, there's a lot of controversy. You knew if pride flags were going to be allowed into the Pride Day match. FIFA did clarify that, which was good news for a lot of people who wanted to celebrate this game. All down to the shirts and the jerseys the fans are wearing. They're all political statements. I met up with one group in shirts that said no Iran war, including State Representative Daria Farvar of Northeast Seattle.
It feels a little bit like a pilgrimage, and that this is probably the closest I'm going to get to going to Iran because of the career I've chosen, because of how vocal I have been against the government of Iran.
I've heard from two separate people who are worried that different groups of Iranian Americans may clash because of their views on the war and on the regime. They're hoping that people can put aside those feelings and all the politics and enjoy this great game in a moment of unity. Live in Pioneer Square, you can hear all the joy around me. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
All right, thank you, Jillian. And tickets are still out there for tonight's match. KIRO 7CV's Gary Horker checking out prices.
A seat pick had an upper deck seat listed at $610, and a seat behind one of the goals, that should be action-packed tonight, $792. Seat pick, the website, had more than 1,200 listings at last check.
And again, kickoff tonight is set for 8 o'clock. Could be a breezy one as well. Your forecast calls for a slight chance of some thunderstorms. Gusting up to 20 miles per hour tonight, and temperatures during match time upper 50s to low 60s. Right now, 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go with the John Curley Show. Thank you, one and all, for being here along for the ride. Great to see everybody out yesterday, supporting the USO. Had a great golf tournament. Let me brag on my son. I took him to that thing when he was 7 years old. He sat with a bunch of Army Rangers and got in the car and said, "Dad, I learned a lot of bad words, and I won't repeat them." He returns yesterday to play there in the golf tournament at Newcastle. And on the 11th hole on China, of course, Joe, second shot, 5-iron, 200 yards, puts it 3 inches from the hole on a par 5. Would have gotten a 2 if it had gone in.
That's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. The other two guys, I think they were former Air Force, like, yeah, your son carried us. Fun stuff. Diving into the news. Thank you, USO. I got a hat on. Where's my hat?
Yeah, I haven't seen you wearing a hat all day.
I left it out there. It's a classic USO Bob Hope hat. Okay, are we going to go to Jillian there?
Yes.
We're going to figure you out. Okay.
She's down there live.
Jillian, are you there? Oh, there. Whoa,
I'm here.
Look. Hey, we can see you.
That's right. I'm not just on the radio anymore. I do have a face for radio, but they make me go on camera.
Okay. Well, you're lovely. All right. So you're in the midst of all of it. Now, can you compare and contrast this to last Friday?
Last Friday, I can compare and contrast it to the Bosnia game.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Team Bosnia, the Bosnian fans have the biggest pride and the biggest riz, I would say, of all of the fans that I have seen so far. There's a lot fewer people walking down the streets here. There's a big contingent from Egypt that just led kind of a match to the game, an unofficial match to the game.
Yeah.
Many more flags here than last week. flags raised high, and a lot of political slogans. Everything down to the T-shirts and the bracelets are political today. Between the pride slogans, no Iran war, I've seen no executions in Iran. You name it. Everybody has a message to share today.
So were they walking like Egyptians?
There are people dressed in pharaoh outfits. The team is actually nicknamed the Pharaohs.
Yes.
And I was kind of surprised. It felt a little bit on the nose, but you will see errant pharaohs running around. I see one across the street, 2, 3 in big pharaoh hats. It's pretty funny.
So some people are down there with the political signs and stuff like that. Are they inclusive? Are they embracing other cultures and diversity, and are sharing their ideas with people from another country that don't embrace the idea of gay rights and they're not big on the LGBTQ stuff? Or are they just holding signs?
You know, that's a good question. I've seen most people wearing like shirts and bracelets. You know, they're not shouting each other down. They're not really talking politics yet. That might change as the drinking keeps happening. You know, we all get a little bit rowdy, and it's really just getting close to pre-funk time.
Yeah.
But so far, it's just shirts. No clash.
No clash. Okay. And this, do you have any idea who's supposed to win this match? Is one?
Ron is going to win.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for the people of Iran, especially those that have family and friends. The U.S. launching the fresh attacks there in Iran, and this happening while they're on the world stage here in Seattle. But then bombs are flying back and forth as the two countries continue to battle over oil. All right, well, listen, so what are you going to stay for the whole thing, or what's your job? What are you going to do the rest of the day? Okay. If we were paying by the word, we'd really be saving money right now. Yeah. All right.
Probably rocking through a crowd.
There's a big crowd, yes. And when you get on there, thank Jillian for that. You get in there with this all the mix-up of everything. Jillian, it's really hard to hear you because you're stuck in the crowd. But bring back some great stories. And if there's any souvenirs, do you want anything, Joe?
I'd love a churro.
A churro?
Yeah.
Come on. All right. All right. Anything else for us?
Just everybody have a good time and be responsible.
Yes. Okay. That's true. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, Jillian, thanks a lot. Be responsible and walk like Egyptians. Who sang this?
Randy.
The Bengals.
Oh, that's the Bengals. Yeah. What were you going to say?
Randy Carlisle. I don't know why.
Randy Carlisle. Jeez. Let's see. Here's the weird thing, right? So we celebrate diversity, and all cultures are great, except for Western civilizations. Then you would have to say, if you want to have the person be consistent with their idea, it would be that we are inclusive. Okay, so everybody we celebrate diversity. Okay, you couldn't get more diverse than somebody being, anti-gay and somebody being pro-gay. There's diversity, diversity. Those are separate cultures. You want to be inclusive. So you'd have to say, well, we welcome them with their diverse points of view. But no, it's exclusive if you're not inside what a group of other people believe. And that's where it breaks down. But everybody knows that because words have meaning, and the meaning of those words are not really celebrating diversity, not really inclusive, because you'd want to be inclusive. You could have somebody from Iran that is anti-gay, LGBTQ. They don't like any of that. And you have somebody who's positive on that stuff. You can imagine the two people going back and forth. That if one person says, well, we don't like it, it's part of our religion, we would kill you if you did this, it's an abomination, blah, blah, blah. The other person goes, well, why me, right? If you actually brought the two together, if you were inclusive, not exclusive, and you really did, quote unquote, celebrate diversity, well, then you could actually have some dialogue together, and then you would celebrate and be diverse, and then everybody would be happy. But no, you have one group of people saying, we hate you, we're going to throw you off a building. Another group of people saying, you hate us for what we do, and we hate you in return. And you're not allowed in the circle and conversation that we're having.
Well, we talked about this earlier the week, and during that conversation, you researched how much of the population of Iran actually is anti-LGBTQ, and it was lower. It was below 10%. So this is kind of a government thing that is criminalizing it,
Right.
And certainly
same thing in the United States, where 80% of Americans, when asked, "Are you okay with the government funding the amputation of genitals of children?" 80 to 85% say no. But you have 15% that say yes. So in that fact, you just flip it over the other way. You have a small minority of people in Iran, most of them be leaders, and most of them are devout Muslims, and they would like to kill somebody that is, gay. So you flip it around the other way. So here we have the majority of people saying, no, we don't think you should be taking children and giving them hormones. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't let men in girls' sports. You shouldn't let men in bathrooms. But yet you have a small minority that are able to push a political point of view. Same thing, different countries, different points of view, different sides of the coin.
I don't think that's a good faith comparison.
Why not?
First of all,
Why
because
not?
I think then you change laws with votes, and if 80% of the people, if we had in any particular place that's making those laws, voted against something, then maybe it would change.
But you don't have that type of voting in Iran.
No, you don't. And I think
Here, have it happen in the state of Washington. Right? The state of Washington, the majority of people do not want boys playing in girl sports. That's an 80%er, they call those, an 81.
I believe. I listen. I haven't seen those polls, but if you say they exist, then I believe it.
But there's a small group of people that, for some reason, are okay with giving hormones to 12-year-olds, cutting off healthy breast tissue, affirming a diagnosis from a 13-year-old. There are a small group, but that's right now. There you go. That's what you have in the state of Washington. You can get a boy to go into girl sports. You can have isn't
there an initiative that's going to be on the ballot for that?
Yeah, and that's why. Why such a small percentage of people want to go around and grab those initiatives and scream and yell at those people on that? Right.
That's a small group of people. But
it is.
Look, why here? This is frustrating.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we're not talking about boys and girls sports. We're talking about Iran and their.
I was just showing you a small group having power over.
I
men.
get it. So I think it's a much more dire situation there because people are actually dying because of it. And I think if you ask any of like the diaspora, the people from Iran that live in other countries, they would tell you. I think at least probably a higher majority of them have no problem with gay marriage or LGBTQ rights or anything like that. And even, as you learned earlier this week, the people in Iran, the majority of them are okay with it. They don't have a problem with it. Maybe they don't want to, see it or whatever, but they're not throwing you off buildings. That is the government, which is an infinitely smaller minority. And when we talked about that the other day, it ended up on social media, and a woman from Iran had this comment on it, and I thought it was worth reading.
Okay.
She said, "For this game, I'm carrying the pride flag for those who cannot. I carry it for the LGBTQ community in Iran and Egypt who have faced discrimination, persecution, imprisonment, and death, or have been forced to hide who they are simply because of their identity. In Iran, same-sex sexual conduct can carry the death penalty under law, and gay people in both countries face arrest and other forms of persecution. The flag is not against any people or any nation. It's a symbol of solidarity with those who are denied the freedom to live openly, safely, and with dignity." So I think the majority of Iranians that are at this game probably feel the same way.
You're talking about Iranians that have moved here. They're living here.
I would say definitely a majority of the ones that have moved here, but it was less than 10% had a problem with gay marriage in the research that you did as we were talking about this earlier in the day.
Right.
That live in Iran.
Right. Okay.
So there's a good chance that most of the people here for that game feel
Same
the same
thing.
way.
Right.
Yeah. The government, of course, is saying no, don't do this. Don't have the flags, and they put up a protest. But I think most people that are there probably have no problem with it.
I agree. And whether it's happening in Iran, happen where somebody might say something like in the UK, if you do a social posting that could be considered to be hateful to trans, then you can be arrested. Yep. It is the government, a small group that have been elected or chosen that are in there that are getting funding from activist groups that want to enforce things that the majority of people probably are not okay with. For that woman that wrote in, I appreciate that she listens, and she's down there. She has a flag or would like to be able to say, I'm Iranian, I'm accepting of somebody's life and the way they want to live it. That's great, right?
Right.
I think the majority of people get to a certain point where they're like, look, live however you want to live. Just don't ask me to have to affirm it. I won't be negative and I won't be positive. I just won't affirm it. Don't ask anything other than of me to ignore or to not say anything negative, but just you live your life and I'll live my life and I don't have to do anything and you don't have to do anything and I want you, what you do. Who's our friend that's trans that listens all the time? And Erica. And Erica's like, look, she's like, I don't want anything from anybody. I just wanted to live this way and this is the way I live. And she goes, I'm not an activist. This is my choice. This is how I live. Right. And if you're offended by it, well, that's your choice. Then you don't get a chance to know me and I'm a pretty interesting person and I break all the stereotypes that you'd have. And I don't ask anything of you. And I think that's the way most people want to be able to have it, which is don't ask me to affirm and don't ask me to deny reality and don't ask me to change pronouns if I don't want to change pronouns. Out of respect, maybe, if the person chooses to do that. But let's be honest. You can't manipulate truth. You're not allowed to have your own truth. And I asked Eric about that. She's like, it doesn't bother me. She's like, live and let live. And I think most people be okay with that.
I agree.
Yeah, good. All right, there you go. All right.
Thanks,
Sean. Thank you for writing, by the way. I like this is the Massachusetts or Boston has decided they're going to allow people to drink in the streets. Why not?
Could your next drink in Cambridge come with a time limit?
That is a different story. So Boston, you can, during the World Cup, you can drink anywhere you want.
Same thing in Seattle now.
And they've extended the alcohol last call from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Right.
However, in Cambridge.
Oh, it's Cambridge. They're going to have a different, right. Cambridge, they're going to be a little more careful. Now, this is, of course, Cambridge, Harvard is right around there. And
I don't usually drink more than one drink per 30 minutes, but I really don't like when people tell me what to do. So I'm not a huge fan of that rule.
A new proposal from the Cambridge License Commission would limit customers to one drink every 30 minutes, an idea that patrons aren't too fond of.
In the bar?
Yes.
A spokesperson for the city tells us that their goal is to have new licensing rules in place by the end of the year. Business owners we spoke to in Central Square feel blindsided by the proposal.
Just came out of nowhere, and honestly, I haven't read the bill, but I know the basis of it, and it sounds a bit crazy, and I don't know how you could implement it.
Kevin
Scottish, Irish? It's not Irish. Is that Scottish?
Sounds Scottish.
Trainer owns the Phoenix Landing, a popular pub on Mass Ave.
How could you police every person in the bar?
I don't know.
It's just impossible. Like, we're going to have to look at time. Well, you had a drink 25 minutes ago. Well, you have to wait.
Minutes ago?
Wait 5 minutes? It sounds a bit crazy.
The updated draft of liquor license rules were sent out to businesses on June 17th.
Yeah, those are the morons that pass these people that get elected in there. I'd like to make a motion that, but you know what? Well, how do we stop that? Well, how about every 30 minutes? Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, they're not going to enforce any of this stuff. I don't enforce any of these ideas, right?
We're going to get a one of those oven timers and just put it next to
If they really want to enforce it, then it would have to be that, I have an idea. So the glass that is given will have a device on it. And, of course, the pub will have to pay for these devices. And it'll have a timer on it. And only when the timer turns green is the person allowed to hand the glass over, and then it can be refilled again.
Nice.
Right. And then, okay, Leah, let's make that the law.
How
and then
bad
the owner of the restaurant's like, what's each glass cost, right?
Well, think of the revenue losses, too.
What are they trying to stop? They don't want people getting drunk?
In Cambridge, it can't be that bad.
There you go. That's the people always say, the argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation.
There's your small minority.
The people that are in Cambridge getting elected with these dumb ideas. Again, and how do you enforce it? You put it on the books. It's just another law that people will ignore. You can tell when the government is not functioning correctly as they add law after law after law, one thing after another on top. If it were some other place other than Cambridge, I don't know the people there in Cambridge, but it was like it's Southeast, they would just go in there and just drink as much as they possibly could. They tried to drink like 30 drinks in 30 minutes, just to show everybody. Just get completely drunk, right?
They're doing that in Boston anyway.
Yeah, sure they are. By the way, I should say that all the people on the weekend, if you're heading over to Cle Elum and heading through Cle Elum, go. I think Lash's a pub might be open at some point. He's opening a little Irish pub behind the thing. They made this little tiny thing, and Guinness and whiskey and all this other stuff. And all the people that always write, "Hey, I'm going. What's the name of that crazy Thai restaurant?" Is get in there and give Lash a hard time about his weird hair now. So it is quite the experience.
What did he do to it?
He has it in cornrows.
No.
Yes. He's the Irishman that's missing fingers, and his hair's all in cornrows. And, what are you giving me a hard time for? What are you giving me a hard time?
It should be easy to spot.
Yeah. It's nuts. So if you're coming through town, heading to Wenatchee or Lake Chelan or whatever, enjoy your good time there in the little town of the Clum.
Are you still handing out beers when you drive by your ranch?
Nobody stops by on the lines have not been that bad on Sunday. Just a few, but they blow right by. But it wasn't as bad as it was on Memorial Day. Maybe, you know what? I bet coming up on the 4th of July weekend, I'll have the free beer out there.
All right.
Here we are. Here comes Nate.
KIRO Newsradio App has the update. We're clearing out around Seattle and Bellevue, but not the case on either end of the sound. Olympia to Tacoma is still struggling at an hour and a half. Got a solid backup from Olympia up to Marvin Road and Lacey. Tacoma to Olympia, we're down to 35 minutes, so obviously we're clearing out here. Minor crowding through DuPont, and then a little more slowing as you head into Olympia. Now here in Seattle, South 5, it's bumper to bumper at Ravenna in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle at 25 minutes. North 5 is getting thick again at the north end of Boeing Field up to the West Seattle Bridge. Everett to Marysville down to 25 minutes. You're still slow from 526 to 528. And now South 5 up in Smoky Point at State Route 530. A crash blocks 3 right lanes. That leaves just that far left lane open. Text APP to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. There you can listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Big's killer whale stole the show this week with several families gathering for an epic tea party. Naturalists watched the T65As and T64Bs speeding in to meet up with the T46B family, erupting into breaches, spy hops, and nonstop socializing. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, crews even dropped the hydrophone to listen in as the orcas vocalized. Elsewhere, the T125As, T100s, and T124As cruised the waters too. Unforgettable moments for everyone aboard. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula. Orcas, humpbacks, gray whales, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only because they've got below prime deals. That's right. Top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call Video Only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Missile strike in Iran. The United States says it has retaliated today after an Iranian strike on a commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. More from ABC's Rachel Scott.
24 hours after Iran fired on a cargo ship attempting to cross the Strait of Hormuz, the U.S. military delivering a, quote, powerful response, attacking Iran for what President Trump called a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement.
The strike coming just hours before Iran's national football team plays a World Cup match right here in Seattle. Protesters are outside of the stadium, some of them calling for regime change in Iran. This man tells KIRO 7 TV the players on Iran's national football team do not represent him.
The players that are playing for the World Cup of Islamic Republic, they are the ones who have been chosen by the government.
Now, Iran is taking on Egypt in what local organizers have dubbed the Pride Match. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery is there. Jillian, sounds like everybody out there pretty much has a message they want to deliver, huh?
Everybody has a message, and you were talking about regime change protests. They are right here on the corner of Occidental and King Street. There are giant signs and megaphones. I'm getting closer so you can hear a little bit of the pandemonium. They're just shouting at people who are coming in for the game. There are some pretty graphic signs out here as well, talking about executions and people who have died over the years in the conflict and at the hands of the government. There are also a lot of people wearing No War in Iran shirts, rainbow jerseys, pretty much everything you can think of. And of course, we have other elements here as well. There are at least 4 or 5 street preachers that I can see with large signs saying Jesus Christ is Lord. We've seen them at other sporting events as well. And it just seems like there's more of a presence of that kind of missionary and Christian protests here as well, considering that Iran and Egypt are both majority Muslim countries. So far, I haven't seen anything getting too tense, although there is a little bit of a vibe in the air that people are kind of watching out because everybody has a big opinion and everybody wants to get their message across. Live in Pioneer Square, Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
All right, thank you, Jillian. And of course, both of these countries say they wanted out of the match in Seattle because of the Pride match. Now, FIFA says the match itself not officially tied to Seattle Pride, of course. At 5:33 now, we go to the real-time traffic desk with Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. This one brought to you by Seattle Sports. Olympia to Tacoma still struggling at an hour and a half because of this solid backup from Olympia up to Marvin Road and Lacey. We're back to blocking that right lane again as a Class C tow has showed up and is hooking up to our disabled semi off to the right shoulder. South 5 in Seattle is bumper to bumper from Ravenna into downtown. Linwood to Seattle, a 25-minute drive. North 5 is thick from the north end of Boeing Field up to the West Seattle Bridge. Bellevue to Renton, still a half hour. We're still heavy in Bellevue from 520 into Factoria. Up at Smoky Point, South 5 is State Route 530. Turns out it's a car fire blocking 3 right lanes. Thanks for our texter who let me know the details there. And now North 5, heavy from Everett all the way to our crash scene. So Everett to Arlington is a 50-minute drive. That's double the norm. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. For your forecast tonight, could get a little breezy this evening. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour, and temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s later on tonight. A little bit warmer for tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Teeny, I think you know what to do. There you go, girl. Spinning the wheel, the Wilcox Family Farm Mag's recipe wheel. Spinning round and round with the names of all the players on there, and every one of them is named after one of the soccer teams that are playing in the World Cup. So, Andrew, it is you and Bosnia. Congratulations.
Me and Bosnia?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Just we need a recipe. We teamed everybody's name up with one of the countries.
What does Bosnia have to do with it?
They're playing in the World Cup.
Okay.
Or is it a recipe from Bosnia?
Yeah, that's what.
Yes, it is,
about.
Nate. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know any egg recipes.
All right,
from
thank you.
Bosnia.
There we go. There's your Wilcox Farm eggs recipe for the day. Bad idea, Teeny. It was Teeny's idea. Stupid. Trying to tie the World Cup into the Wilcox. I said no, it's not going to work. And she's like, what about alliteration? I'm like, well, shut up. How about that? Sorry. Did that go over the air?
Yep. Yeah.
The importance of silence and to keep your brain from going to the next activity when social media basically is fighting for every single second of your life to be online. They're taking your attention and manipulating you with one algorithm after another. And really, they're doing a great disservice to you because, Joe, has the fundamental changed?
You want me to get this?
I'm going to get it. I'm not going to mess up one word. What has fundamentally changed the world for the worst, but us humans haven't realized? The answer is the collapse of unstructured time, and specifically what smartphones and algorithms, feeds have done to boredom. The vast majority of human history, boredom was not a problem to be solved in a cognitive state that forced the brain into a mode now that is called the default mode network, a kind and mental background process where you consolidate memories, develop empathy by imagining other people's lives, create creative ideas, and build a coherent sense of self. That's what happens when you are bored. And because your smartphone doesn't allow you that time, think about this. Was the last time you went to the bathroom, number 2, everybody, without your phone, right? They used to have my Aunt Mary had a book of jokes on the back of the toilet, which always like, I didn't want to touch it because I always think like somebody else is like touching it and reading the jokes. Or Reader's Digest was in there. There'd be like a when I was a kid, my aunt had a magazine rack next to the John, right? Now people just sit there with their phones. They constantly have their phones on, always looking at their phones rather than being bored.
I just went and I didn't take my phone, and that's a fact.
Okay, thank you, Nate, for that. First of all, you're going number 2 in the middle of the day?
Well, when you hold it till night?
No, but the point is, don't subject the rest of us to your bad bowel schedule.
Why is that bad?
Because it's late in the afternoon.
What's that got to do with anything?
Go in the morning.
Small.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't force it. I just go when, Mother Nature.
I'm telling you right now. Just in the morning, a cup of coffee, black coffee, and a cigarette. You sit there, you do your business at home. Don't come in here with that stuff.
Okay.
All right, now back to the news. A woman was on a train traveling from Manchester to London, and the train was delayed by 4 hours. She had no phone, of course. This was back in 1990. She had no way to distract herself. A magazine, a book, nothing. She thought it would be a rather quick trip, so she didn't bring anything with her. She was forced to stare out the window into the sort of gray, foggy landscape and just let her mind just wander. 4 hours, Manchester to London, would have been a fast trip, but not for her and not for the rest of the world. Because you know what happened when she got to London? You know what happened?
I do.
Andrew, if you would please. If you have it, you may play it. Something. I took the train back to London. And on my own, the ideas of Harry Potter fell into my head. Coincidentally, I didn't have a pen. I was too shy to ask anybody on the train, which frustrated me at the time. But when I look back at it, it was the best thing for me. It gave me a full 4 hours on that train to think up all the ideas of the book. If she had had a phone or something else to distract her, we would never have gotten Harry Potter. No pen to detail in the kicker. It was frustrating for her was the fact that Harry Potter just came to her because of boredom. Here's another crazy test that they did. They had a bunch of people sit there and go through a phone book and write down, totally boring, and write down the names of everybody in the phone book. Just sit there and just write the names, and they had people sit there, like 40 people do it. They had another group of people doing a more interesting task that took a lot of more brain work. Then they said, okay, stop everybody. The group that was involved in the phone book, which was unbelievably boring, competed against the other group, and they had to come up with an imaginative ways to use styrofoam cups. Some dumb, stupid thing as well. The people that were doing the boring stuff came up with far more interesting ideas than the people who had been using their brains in more active ways. So there's nothing wrong with boredom. So what I'm saying is, please continue to listen to this show. It's good for you. In the end, who knows? You could come up with the next Harry Potter or something.
I do worry for the younger generation and, the next generation of creative artists of all types,
Where's it
songwriters,
coming
right?
from?
Yeah.
Right. Not only that, but just are the best of the best going and being promoted? Do we have the best researchers? Do we have the best doctors, the best scientists? Do we have the best engineers? Only the best. Is meritocracy leading? Or because of DEI, hopefully it's been eradicated. But if it isn't, then eventually we fall off. We don't continue to have only the best people doing the work and pushing one another to achieve and to be better. But yeah, for the young people, are they, because they are functionally illiterate at this point, not reading, actively removing themselves from the literary world? That's a problem. I think it was 1 out of 4. Was that the last number we saw in literacy? That's people that are actively reading or choosing to read.
Actually, that know how to read but aren't?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually higher than that. I think it's like 1 out of 10 or something.
Oh, come on now, everybody. Let's get bored, and then we're not bored. Let's pick up a good book.
That's right.
There you go. All right.
Develop some bad habits while you're at it.
Yeah. I take the phone away from the kiddos. I just downloaded a Nietzsche's. What did I get in here? This will be my weekend. What was the last book I got in here? And boy, I looked at it. I was like, oh, no, it's 11 hours long. Thus Spoke Zarathustra. That's a Nietzsche book.
Good luck.
Zarathustra. Got it?
No.
Okay. Well, this is my weekend when I'm cutting the grass. A little bit of Nietzsche. If a kid doesn't want to read because they don't like reading, but they are okay with the audiobooks, then get Audible and get in there and just be taken away by the imagination of some of these, the most amazing writers, all there at your fingertips.
Anything but just not even just doom scrolling, just any scroll.
I can't even think about it. Just so depressing. It's like going to dinner with Nate and then him going to the bathroom 3 times. Here comes Nathan checking traffic. Nathan?
All right, it's brought to you by Buc-ee's Complete Auto Care. Olympia to Tacoma, up to an hour, 35 minutes. We've got a 7-mile bumper-to-bumper backup from Olympia to Marvin Road in Lacey, where that right lane is blocked again with a Class C tow truck hooking up to our disabled semi. South 5, you're going to jam up in the same area. Tacoma to Olympia, though, just 35 minutes. In Federal Way, South 5, we're heavy between State Route 18 and Fife. Bellevue to Renton, still about a half hour. We're still heavy through Bellevue, all the way through Factoria before things lighten up for you. Now, up in Smoky Point, we've got progress. South 5 at State Route 530, all lanes are back open, the scene of our car fire. And, State Route 531, but North 5 in Everett is packed from Broadway all the way to 531 is looky-loo, slow down to check out the fire. Now, the fire's out, so hopefully the backup should start to thin out right now. So Everett to Arlington right now is taking you about 40 minutes. For 50 years, Buc-ee's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Buc-ee's.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Don't miss the 10th annual Summer RV Blowout Sale. Be there June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe. Free parking and admission.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day for baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. Case in point, your ticket might be for the view level, but it's more like Skyline City. Up here, it's hard to say what'll take your breath away first. The gorgeous Seattle sunsets or the spectacular views of every incredible play. If you like value with the view, it's the perfect place to take quality time with the family to a whole new level. Literally.
A bases clearing, 3-run double. Everybody on their feet here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
Celebrate 4th of July weekend at T-Mobile Park as the Mariners square off against the Blue Jays. The fun gets started with a fireworks spectacular on Friday the 3rd, presented by T-Mobile. Then don't miss out on patriotic bucket hats Saturday the 4th, available to the first 10,000 fans thanks to Coca-Cola. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
John Curley here. Who installs your new cooling system matters. I recommend Home Comfort Alliance. For 50 years of award-winning service and top-quality Carrier products that deliver years of comfort. Save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Advanced Hair. Do we have a song that's going to be sung by one of our contestants? Okay, it's the actual mailman with the mailman song.
I'm the mailman, as you can see. I'm the mailman, don't nobody mess with me. I'm the mailman, if you didn't know. I'm the mailman, I bring the mail to your door.
Right to your door. We'll get the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, hey, how about a little Zachy Brown? Be quiet, I'm watching my stories. Brought to you by Folgers Coffee.
That's right, Folgers. It's good for you. Dennis in Arlington says, no alien sucked up 700 people in Miami. What the hell, guys? I know.
Nobody was more disappointed than we were.
Yeah, I know.
Tina in the 425 says, 2 seconds into my favorite show and Dad's calling Joe a pissant. This better be good, fellas.
We turned out it's not a bad word.
No.
But I did call you that. Socialism street preacher, B. Imperialip says, chef here, I don't care about food or the guests.
Hey, Ron Johnson says, higher education breeds socialism. If they spent those years working in the real world, they'd never come out to those wacko conclusions.
Hey, Ron Johnson. Jesse B. says, we should have mandatory military service, 2 years right out of high school.
425 says, oh, great, John. Now talk about the benefits of capitalism's current monopolies. We are not a pure capitalist society. National parks, freeways, Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, EPA. You forget that these are socialistic parts of our society.
I know, and I hate every one of them. By the way, you get monopolies when you get government involved in it. Trapped in a toilet. Brian in the 425 says, there was a story a few years back about a guy who climbed into a honey bucket.
Voyeurized
women. Oh, that's right. He was in the bottom of it.
That's right. He had like a trash bag on or something. Ugh.
Boy, Brian brought the whole show down with that one right there.
All right, we'll bring it back up.
Right.
Mike in Portland says, if I fall into a pit toilet for hours and my family doesn't come looking for me for 3 hours, I'm officially changing my emergency contact.
Trapped in a toilet with Nate. Fernando in Seattle says, gross. I never take my phone into the restroom. Yes, thank you, Fernando.
Josh in Auburn says, I love that we talked about bowel movements and porta potties and poop across multiple segments today. Good show, everybody.
Didn't mean for to happen. Nate did that to us. Hee-haw, Aaron says, that's right. Nate knows what's up. Getting paid to hee-haw.
Andrew in the 509 says, Nate's just following the porta potty cave etchings of old that reads, boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Nice. Look at that one right there. Dwayne, the QFC says, I've always had a problem with why would anybody spend that much time using the bathroom?
You know, if Andrew were paying attention, we'd be getting a lot more of our decorations in this segment. Thanks a lot, Keith. Tina in the 425 says, good grief. Now Curly's ripping into Nate for pooping when he wants. He's pooping on the time clock like a free man. USA, USA, USA.
Epstein file ruling. Doug in Mount Vernon says these people are running afoul of the law.
I think it was a duck joke.
Wow.
Mark in Port Orchard said, is this the John Curley and whiny little conspiracy bleep show?
Is that who you are?
Yeah.
Okay, that's who you are. Okay. The new old man John says, if it looks like a duck and acts like a duck, it's a porcupine in disguise.
Ooh. Super Signer event. Bill.
You know what's so weird when you read these? You just realize how strange the show is.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. There's like a concentrated dose of the show in these.
Brian said with a straight face the other day, he's our boss. He said, yeah, I find the letter segment is a good idea. It gives me a good kind of recap about what you guys talked about today.
Right.
Like, oh, dear. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
Where are we? Oh, yeah. Super Signer event. Bill and Vaughn says, remember, naysayers want to save the economy by suppressing your right to vote. Democracy.
Save democracy.
Yes, oh, now you're paying
Look at
attention.
that. How about
Wow.
somebody else got a word
5
wrong?
minutes in.
Patrick
There you go.
253 says, what is the record for the Supreme Court to invalidate the signature gathering and invalidate the initiative?
I think it's a joke. Egypt-Iran match. I'm going to skip to Erica because I have them out of order. She says, it's really much more nuanced argument. A little something you're going to want to verify. But my manager told me years ago that Iran is okay with transgender and that their state medical would actually pay for it. However, homosexuality is a crime and could possibly be punishable by death. It was fascinating to hear her explain it, and thanks for the shout out. I did verify that, and it's true.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that one? Yeah. Fernando in Seattle says, but that didn't happen. You have to be 18 to have any gender altering surgery. Yeah. You mean
Can your parents sign?
I don't think parents are allowed to be involved.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. All right. We'll check that one out. But thank you, Fernando.
Roger in the 206 says, I agree, John. Don't push your beliefs on me, and I don't push mine on you. You be you, and I be me, and it's all good.
There you go. I think that's kind of a song. Barbara, the 425, did you guys see the Egyptian team had their hair cut by the Egyptian barber in Shoreline? That's the story. We missed it. Was there a bathroom break involved?
Nate was there. Dana in the 425 said, I'm so glad to hear that what we're being told about the people of Iran, not the government, is not true. More media and government telling us what they want us to hear.
Brian from Arlington says, I suggest increasing glass sizes significantly. Those big old German mugs should do.
I believe that's on the Cambridge 30-minute rule.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Thank you, Teeny, for
that.
that.
This comes from Paul in Sammamish.
He's back.
He's back in town. He says, how do I contact the John Curley regarding using his auctioneering skills at our nonprofit's fundraiser? The name of our organization is Mothers Against Coming to a Complete Stop at a Four-Way Intersection, but then inching forward until cross traffic can't really get past you, so you might as well just drive through already for crying out loud. It seems self-serving.
What are the
acronym?
Yeah.
That would be
PTIFUCTCRGPU or YSU. Okay, we got to work on that.
That's all she
.org.
wrote.
I'm sure you're available.
Okay, for Paul. Yeah, all right. Well, let's see. We do another hour. Don't forget, if you're not with us, we're going to be in Bellevue getting signatures at the Old Virginia Mason Building on Sunday from 10 to 3.
Go get them.
There we go. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate Hoff.
Olympia to Tacoma, hour 25 minutes. Still got a 7-mile bumper-to-bumper backup from Olympia up to Marvin Road in Lacey, where that right lane is blocked from a disabled semi. Once you finally get through this, it's all clear all the way into Seattle. South 5, you're going to jam up in that same area. Tacoma to Olympia, though, looking pretty good at 35 minutes. South 5 through Federal Way, heavy from State Route 18 into Fife. Bellevue to Renton, a 25-minute commute. You're still crowded from South Bellevue into Renton. North 405 in the south end, we're crowded from South Center through the S-curves. Up at Smoky Point, South 5 at State Route 530. All lanes have reopened, but we still have the scene of a car fire. It's off to the right shoulder, and drivers are slowing down to check it out. So we're stop and go from 530 down to 531. And then as you head through Everett North 5, we're slow from 41st up to 531, where we have the car fire. Everett to Arlington, 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley is now open. 3509 72nd Street East in Tacoma. Stock up now for the 4th at Puyallup Tribe's Firecracker Alley. Open now through July 4th. With over 100 fireworks stands and a variety of food and beverage options, you're sure to get your 4th of July off to a great start at Firecracker Alley. Don't miss the free fireworks show on June 30th. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Are you thinking about getting a new TV this week at prime prices? Maybe a Samsung, LG, or a Sony? Before you click, you should check out Video Only, because they've got below prime deals. That's right. Top-rated TVs at better than online prices. Curbside pickup or home delivery are available. Don't click before you call video only, because if you do, you'll be sorry.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Costs are up, but life doesn't have to slow down. Subaru of Puyallup has fuel-efficient all